The best part about this game, the best part about this team, is that as long as they've got one strike left, they're still alive. And last night, with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Josh Naylor lifted one up onto the home run porch. And Cleveland was able to overcome a 3-run deficit in the bottom of the ninth to beat the Twins 7-6. Naylor headbutted Tito into today. What a victory. What an emotional outburst. We've seen it before. This guy is an absolute maniac on the field. And last night, he willed them to win, as I said at the time, just like he did back in Chicago. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre Knott will join us shortly. Have you ever seen a player quite like Josh Naylor, who plays with, baseball's a game. It's hard to play with emotion because there's so many ups and downs, because it's every day. It's so unrelenting. And yet, here's this guy.
I'll tell you what, if he ever gets another one, they better leave the dugout and go into the clubhouse if it's a walk-off, because it was a treat to see, and hopefully that's a spark for this ball club going on the rest of this homestand.
Ahmed Rosario is putting the Caps on a month of June like we haven't seen since, Jason Kipnis.
Well, I got to tell you, he's doing it every way imaginable. He's got speed. So, once he gets a hit early in the ball game, he seems to get very gritty like good hitters do. He's been using the whole field, going line to line. He can beat out an infield hit, but this guy really did cap it off. He got one more day to go. He's got 41 hits. This is the last day of June. He might add 3 more today. Who knows? But I'll tell you what, he's had one heck of a month, and when you look at it, a 376 average, 41 base hits, and 6 3 or more hit games, most in the majors. This guy has been remarkable, and let's hope it continues today.
Our Bounty quick stat, and I think Jason Kipnis' 51 hits are safe for the moment.
Yeah.
All right. When you look at pitching, Shane Bieber's going to toe the rubber for the Guardians here today. That should be good in terms of trying to win this series now.
Well, he's the guy you want on a mound, and as we said before, anytime he toes the rubber, they expect to win, and they will do that today. His breaking stuff has been outstanding, and anytime he goes out there, he battles you and takes you into the 6th, almost the 7th inning. But for Shane Bieber in his last 8 starts, 2-2 record, a 115 whip, and 11 walks, and 59 strikeouts. This is the guy you want on the mound, and hopefully they can win today.
And that is our Northern Ohio Buick dealer stat. Chris Archer will go for Minnesota. We'll be back with the play-by-play. Alan Jensen will revisit last night's late game heroics, and Andre Knott has more on Shane Bieber straight ahead. Cleveland Guardians baseball is brought to you by the Ohio Traffic Safety Office and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Stay safe this season and make a plan for a safe ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Minnesota will do it this afternoon here at Progressive Field for the 5th time in 4 days. Josh Naylor was the big man on campus last night for the 10th inning, 2-run homer to win it for Cleveland, walk-off style. Shane Bieber is on the mound today for the good guys as he'll look to improve his career record against Minnesota, which stands at 5-1. Welcome back, everybody, along with Jensen Lewis, Sal Pulowski. So if you're down late in a game and you're Cleveland, you could look to a number of players to come through for you. But boy, Josh Naylor, he's been one of those that have come through in a big way this year with late-inning home runs.
Oakland got it started. The grand slam heard round Chicago off Liam Hendricks before he had the game-winning 3-run homer right there in extra innings. And then last night, down to his last strike, his first career walk-off home run, Oppo Taco style, and into Rajai Davis territory in the corner pocket there in the left field of the home run porch. A flair for the dramatic. That's just scratching the surface for the man they call Nails. What a performance he has had in the clutch so far in 2022.
Yeah, if you are a Kerry Kim, our cameraman generally there in left field, you've got to watch out. That ball could be coming right for you. Andre Knott joins us now. Hey, Andre, Shane Bieber, if things, once he gets done with baseball, he might have another career, right?
I don't know about another career, Al. Let's slow down there. He doesn't know much about horses, but what a day it was yesterday on the field and off the field for the Guardians. We talked yesterday about Stephen Kwan playing chess with some kids from a local high school, but also yesterday, Shane Bieber and his fiancée, Kara, went over to a horse farm in Rocky River, and they did this because Kara grew up around horses, always talked to Shane about it, and they found a foster family and some kids that they could help out, help them go through and ride a horse or two and have some fun with the ace of the Guardians.
By by Kara, my wonderful fiance and wife-to-be, but I have a little bit of background with horses. She has a much greater background, and my background comes from hers. So I've kind of been integrated into that system and that family. I have to be a little bit more careful, obviously, but yeah, long story short, we were able to get a couple kids that worked with Ohio Guidestone out to Rocky River Stables and take a tour of the facilities. Everybody there was so gracious and in hosting us, and took a tour of the facilities, groomed the horses. The kids were able to hop on and take some lessons. They ended up getting up to a decent little trotting speed, and to see the smiles on their faces was really priceless and made everything worth it. So we were able to connect with not only the kids on a great level, but the horses as well, and they felt that as well. And one of the kids said that the horse was his soulmate by the end of the day, and that was special. So that's really what it's all about, and that's why we do it.
Definitely special. Now it's time for Shane to do what he loves to do as well, and that's get on the mound for the Guardians. Last game, Velo was up arched, but he said, you know what? He no longer is concerning himself with that. He wants to win and put up as many zeros as he can, especially when it's the team in the AL Central that he's battling against.
Well, I know he's looking forward for today's start, because this is one. This would be a great one to cap off here after that win last night. And you're only as good as your next day's starting pitcher. And here he is, Shane Bieber. He'll be the Guardians starting pitcher, brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Shane making his 15th start. He's 3-4 with 307. In his last outing against Boston, he was dealing going into that 7th inning. That one hanging breaking ball cost him 3 runs, and it cost him a ball game. So I'm sure he's looking forward to going out there and going up against Minnesota this afternoon.
Rocco Baldelli starting lineup for the Twins. Luis Arraez leads it off. That man, Carlos Correa, will bat behind Byron Buxton, who is DHing. Carlos Correa in the 3-hole. Max Kepler is the cleanup man. Jose Miranda will bat 5th. Alex Kirilloff is 6th. Gary Sanchez 7th. Gio Urshela and Gilberto Celestino batting 9th.
Defensively for the Guardians, looks like this. There was a late scratch, so Palacios was added. Gonzalez is out. He'll be in left field. Straw's in center. Kwan moves over to right. And on the infield, Ramirez at third, Rosario at short, Jimenez at second, Miller at first. Leon doing the catching.
Ted Barrett, the crew chief, the former pugilist. He's got the balls and strikes. Lance Barksdale at first, Nick Lentz at second, Nestor Ceja down at third. Beautiful day, 85 degrees, our game time temperature. Mercury expected to climb throughout the day. It might edge up close to 90 degrees before it's all said and done.
Tell you what, think about it, the weather that has been here on this homestand, and hopefully will continue throughout the weekend. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah, as bad as spring was in Cleveland, summer has come in with a bang.
Thank goodness. Yeah. It is here. It is beautiful.
Leading off is Luis Arraez. He's at second base this afternoon. He is 3 for 17 in the series. And despite the fact that the Guardians have done a number on him, he still leads the league in batting average at 337 mark.
Well, when we started in Minnesota last time, he was in the 363 area, but you can't stay that hot all year long.
Line drive, right field, base hit. Just his 4th hit in the series, and only his 9th hit in 41 at-bats against Cleveland pitching this year.
Well, you're going to see a little breaking ball down, and it was low, and he drops the bat head. Lines it into right field, so a good start for him and the Minnesota Twins with a base knock. You can tell they've been here. This is the 5th game, and I'm sure they want to leave town. The umpire's with them. It's hard to 5 games in 4 days.
Byron Buxton, he's DHing. 3 on the left side defensively for Cleveland. And a swing and a miss. Good slider to start him out. I always have to ask you. First pitch, I mean, you're coming right out of the gate. You're facing a guy. His first pitch is a slider, and you see that swing. Does that tell you he was just fooled, or is he literally trying to hit a first pitch slider there?
Well, against Bieber, I would say, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, because they know him in the division. But he's a low ball hitter, and it was a pitch to his liking, and he got all over it.
Bieber quickly ahead of him, 0-2. Not wasting any time with Arraez, the leadoff man at first, held by Owen Miller. And right back with the same pitch. That time he lays off. Buxton, he can do a lot of damage. 20 home runs, and 32 of his 50 hits have gone for extra bases. He also has 10 doubles and a pair of triples. Swing and a miss. Bieber strikes him out, 1 down.
For Minnesota, batting third.
Well, stayed right there with that slider, and you know, day game. It could be tough. It's always tough picking up that spin. That's a very good pitch. Always has been a strikeout pitch. Starts in the zone, disappears at the end. And Bieber gets strikeout number 1.
And now comes Carlos Correa. And when you just look at Correa and Buxton, Rick, I mean, physically at least, both guys right-handed batters. Both guys fill up the batter's box.
Yes,
They're kind of similar just in terms of their appearance. Back-to-back in this lineup. The one difference is that Correa, as we've seen, he's not a guy that's looking necessarily middle in to pull. He will shoot you out to right field.
He had the at-bat of the game last night, taking a pitch to right field off Eli Morgan on a full count pitch to drive in the run that got him going. Yeah, he uses the whole field, and he goes that way very well.
Runner goes, pitches up high, throw down by Leone. Got him on the helmet.
Yes.
2 down.
Minnesota not a team that steals many, only 13. That'll be the 10th time they've been caught. And you're going to see Jimenez come over there and get that ball and tag him on the helmet before he can get to the base. We see that a lot now. Guys can go head first, and they get tagged on their feet. And there it was. He caught him on the backside of the arm.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Just grazed him.
He had to let him slide, but there he is. He tags him before he gets there.
Yeah,
well done.
Like he got him right on the elbow. So 2 down and a 1-1 count for Carlos Correa. That's a nice job though by Sandy Leone, who, I mean, he just got to the ball club a couple of days ago, making his second start. And able to come up throwing and gun down the rise. 2-1 pitch to Carlos Correa. Good one. Evens the count.
Correa wants to have a little chat. Home plate umpire Ted Barrett thinking that ball was away. That's the same thing that happened to him last night. That at bat where he got the hit to right field off Eli. Umpire gave him a pitch. Didn't give him. He took it from Correa.
2-2. And now a full count. That knuckle curveball just missed the top of the zone. And a 2-out walk.
For Minnesota, batting fourth.
Storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. It was your guy Earl Weaver who said momentum is the next day's starting pitcher. And that turns to Shane Bieber for Cleveland as they try to capitalize on Josh Naylor's walk-off homer last night. So they were in danger of falling 4 games behind Minnesota, and the Twins would have had a chance to really step on their neck today. But with that big come-from-behind win last night, it evens the series, and they can close to within one game if they should happen to win here this afternoon.
Yeah, the way they've beaten Minnesota this year is something special, because come from behind in 4 of those 5 wins. Last at bat wins 5 different times. That could be a big turnaround in the standings, you know, when it's all said and done.
Well, it has to be frustrating for Minnesota. Maybe not so much the ball players, because it's a long season. You don't focus day to day. But for fans, I mean, looking at this series, Minnesota in their 5 wins have outscored Cleveland pretty handily, 23 runs total. In Cleveland's 5 wins against the Twins, they're all by 1 run. I don't know why he did that. Rosario had a much easier play on the ball, but he let it go to Jimenez, and with the long throw, Kepler beats it out.
I don't know if he called it or what, but if you're Jimenez playing out there and you're probably 20 feet on the grass and you've got a guy running, you can't give him that much room. You have to charge the ball. See, he rounded it, waiting for Rosario to take it. And that's like the third baseman and shortstop. If you're a third baseman, you can get to it, you better take it. He didn't take it. It'll go as an infield hit, so a mistake there, I think, by Rosario. And I think Jimenez was waiting on the ball, or waiting for Rosario to catch it first. That's why he stayed back on it. But you have to charge it if you're going to get it.
Well, 2 on and 2 out on a break for the Twins. Jose Miranda at the plate. Yeah, Cleveland's 5 wins against Minnesota this year have all been by 1 run. So they have been able to win the close ones, while Minnesota has won some of the more lopsided games. But when you add it all up, they're 5-5 in 10 meetings. Miranda check. Did he go? It looked like he did. Yes, says Lance Barksdale down at first. It's 0-2.
Well, you look at them in 1-run games. Minnesota's 12-11 on the year. Guardians 14-9, and that's the difference right there for them to come over and beat them by 1-run games. Those hurt.
Thursday afternoon crowd settling in. Top half of this first inning. Bieber having to work hard. 17th pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Couple of Ks for Shane Bieber. Couple of hits for Minnesota, but 2 men stranded, and the Guardians are coming to bat.
Today his team leading 15th start, and you know, it marks the first time since August 12, 2017, when he was with Tampa Bay. His last start, this will be his 8th career start. His first 7, he is 0-7 against the Guardians.
Terry Francona starting lineup presented by Progressive. Stephen Kwan leading it off. Ahmed Rosario bats second. Jose Ramirez third. Josh Naylor will DH and bat cleanup. Owen Miller is fifth. Andres Jimenez batting sixth. Richie Palacios getting the start, will bat seventh. Sandy Leon catching and hits eighth, and Miles Straw batting ninth. Stephen Kwan will lead it off. Stephen Kwan, 3 hits and 3 runs scored yesterday. How about this? He hit 354 in the month of April.
Yeah, he's
struggled in the month of May, and is hit 354 in the month of June.
And it's sort of overshadowed by Rosario, the guy on deck, but this guy's had a solid month, no question about it. He's into that leadoff spot now and doing a heck of a job. Another look at that changeup he threw. He throws his slider more than he does his fastball for Archer. And, you know, he's making a team leading 15th start. He's never thrown 80 pitches in any start.
Still got that Tampa Bay glove. 1-2. Low and away.
Well, we had an opportunity to see last night. This guy takes close pitches. Excellent eye at the plate. Gets a ball width off. He stays off of it.
On Archer, you mentioned he hasn't thrown over 80 or 79 pitches.
Right.
They are working him up, but his 2 hardest pitches he threw last start were in the last inning. He hit 95 twice. So Wes Johnson has found something in Archer as they've slowly brought him along to the point that Archer said he used to shoot for 7 innings. He goes, but with injuries and everything else that's happened and age, he trusts Wes Johnson to get him as far as he needs to go for this Twins team.
Wes is gone today.
I know.
After the game.
Wes may have turned his career back around.
Struck him out. 1 down.
That
Hard
was
to
his
do.
slider. Yeah, that was his slider. He saved it till for the put out.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Better than 40% of his pitches are sliders coupled with the fastball.
Yeah, and you see the fastball, but he started with change-ups to Kwan, but he put him away with that slider. Here's the slider coming to Kwan here on the full count. Down and in, out of the zone, and you don't get him to chase pitches out of the zone by much, so it had a lot of very tight spin to it.
Tried to hold up, but he went around.
Arch, is it as simple as that spin on the slider that makes it so difficult? Because that last one was 91.
It is. It looks like it's a tight spin. You got to make sure he throws it for strikes first.
Slow chopper, second base, Arise with the throw. It's a close play at first. Just in time for out number 2.
Check out the Twins defense, brought to you by Rally House. Looks like this. Kirilloff is out in left field. Celestino in center, and Kepler over and right. On the infielder, Shelley at third, Correa at short, Arise at second, Miranda at first, and Sanchez doing the catching.
Jose Ramirez 7 for his last 27 with 4 doubles out of those 7 hits. There's a curveball for a strike. One ball, 1 strike. Bryce Archer, originally drafted by Cleveland, really broke out with Tampa Bay. Line drive single into center field, almost took Archer with it. He takes his glove off. He's got to reassess his life situation right now.
Yeah, you talk about taking the elevator down to the bottom floor. This is what happens. He goes away with it. Wasn't that close to him as we thought, but that's scary when you're a pitcher and you're not really looking and you know it's coming back at you. And it came back a lot quicker than it came in. 106 miles per hour off the bat, so Chuck and Duck.
Swing and a miss by Josh Naylor. Naylor delivering his first ever walk-off home run last night. but far from his only memorable hits. Some big home runs on the road.
Matt, how many times have you heard a player say, I was trying to hit a home run to finish the game?
There's a topper towards second base, Correa. Looking at Jose Ramirez. It kicks the bag to end the inning. I don't think Jose sees the humor. We played one, no score.
Well, the MLB Ballpark app allows you to buy and manage game tickets. You can unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
No score, second inning. And Alex Kirilloff will lead off for Minnesota. One of those weird quirks in the schedule. We've had one of those deals before where Minnesota just had a homestand. They played Cleveland and finished with Colorado. Came here to Cleveland. They're going right back home to play Baltimore for 3 days and then right back out on the road.
We did that. Every team's going to do that, I think, once this year because another team did that while we were playing them.
Tommy Watkins is the third base coach for the Twins. Was just saying, he's like, going home is going to feel like a road trip because they're only going home for 3 days.
Yeah.
So you feel like they've been here for a month. I said, welcome to the 2022 schedule.
I'm sort of curious what next year's schedule is going to look like when you're playing everybody in baseball.
I am. I know you guys are a little bit used to it or have an idea how it's going to work, but it's going to be very different than what we're used to over the last decade or so.
Yeah, I'm going to have to leave you memos on when to pack. I know that.
Matt and I will be leaving stuff in your bag to take for us.
I know that. That's true.
Out of plate on the left side.
What day did we go there?
Don't worry, I got you covered. I'll pack 3 bags next year. Just give me your clothes. I'll keep them at the house.
Tell Tommy to get a lock for me.
Oh my God, it's coming tomorrow.
It's got to go to the dollar store.
Andre, we got us a valet.
Yes, we do. Yes, indeedy.
Alex Kirilloff awaiting the 1-2 from Bieber. Hammer. Oh, what a catch! Owen Miller with a quick reaction, leaping to his right, went to the backhand side and made the grab.
Tell you what, Alex Kirilloff has been swinging the bat beautifully in this series, and right there, Miller took a hit away from him. He had a good night last night, and this ball, I mean, you can't hit it any better. On the backhanded side, what a play. Look at that, my goodness. Kirilloff had 3 hits last night, a sac fly, and taken from a hit right there.
Yeah, since he got the call up, Rick, he's hit .325 in 12 games with 5 doubles and 12 runs batted in those 12 games. So that has them excited.
You know, when you're talking about other people coming on or off, that kid's got to start playing either first in the outfield, and same with Arise. You got to find spots for those 2 guys.
Yeah, to your point, Kirilloff's emergence suddenly. Not suddenly. I mean, they knew it was there. It's just that he went backwards.
His wrist, yes, with his wrist injury.
His reemergence, let's say, and Jose Miranda.
Right,
the way he's swinging the bat. And that's given Minnesota some options, you know, and they don't have to really worry about rushing Miguel Sano. He's going to start his rehab assignment soon, and they can take their time and see how things play out.
And another one was Garlick. He's been swinging the bat pretty well for him. A young guy that you don't, when you talk Minnesota Twins, you don't think about him. But he's not a bad little player either.
Dracula's not a big fan, though.
KG, Kyle.
Gary Sanchez, a chopper towards Ramirez, cuts it off. Throws him out, 2 down. Well, our stats with Lowe's shows you through 10 games, we are even Steven, 5 apiece.
Look at that number.
all the late inning dramatic wins that belong to Cleveland.
Yeah.
The 1-0 win is Minnesota's one-run victory in the series.
Right.
And what's sad, because these games have been entertaining. They've done a lot of energy. They won't meet again until September, and then it's going to be all jammed together
Same thing.
8 times in 10 or 11 days.
Yeah, exactly.
But think about what those games could mean come September.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt.
If
No,
these two
that's
teams
when
can stay this close.
Well, you know what? That's when it could get a little touchy.
Yes, edgy.
In there. Yeah, edgy. You're right. Good word.
Did you say Hedgie?
Hopefully he's back soon.
Fouled back by Urshela.
Matt, I don't know if you saw this stat, but last night was the 3rd win that the Guardians have while trailing by at least 3 runs in the 9th inning or later. The rest of Major League Baseball has 5 of those. No other team has done that more than once this year.
Yeah, that's not easy.
That's
to do
crazy.
when you get in there in the 9th inning.
And we're not even at July 1st yet.
I know,
Already
and you usually get your best pitchers in there
Right.
doing the work, and when you come back from 3 late like that, it's incredible.
Center field, Straw. 1, 2, 3, go the Twins. No score midway through the second.
All right, it's going to be Sugardale Dollar Dog Night tomorrow when the Yankees come to town for a 3-game weekend series, and all fans will receive a Guardians t-shirt. You can come early for a $2 pregame in the district by Miller Lite and stay after for a post-game oldies but goodies fireworks display presented by Dollar Bank. Just visit CLEGuardians.com for the tickets.
Leading off for Cleveland here in the home half of the second inning is Owen Miller. He's trying to get back to the hitter he was early in the season. 5 for his last 35 at the plate.
Well, Owen, he's going to have to start hitting the fastball and putting it in play. He fouls off a lot of fastballs. He's been awfully tough this year with the breaking pitches, getting base hits when he gets down to 2 strikes. And he's done a nice job against right-handers this year, laying off pitches out of the zone.
Tito admits we've asked a lot of some of these young players, and for Miller in particular. He stepped in the cleanup hole when Fran Mill was out.
Right.
He's moved around defensively to a number of different positions. The 1-2. Ground ball up the middle, cut off by Correa. And throws him out, 1 down. And that will bring up Andres Jimenez.
Well, like you said with Miller, it may have made an impact for him because he is playing a couple of different positions and maybe missing a few more days with the Reyes coming back, because he used to DH when he wasn't playing, out in the field.
Lots of ups and downs for the young players on this club, but the one thing that fans I think have really taken to with this group and have really been able to identify with is their spirit. I mean, they have an indomitable spirit. They just never feel like they're out of a game. I mean, look, last night, you think about it. I mean, Minnesota gets 1 run in the 10th, and they're like, oh, deflated. Then they get the 2-run homer from Kepler, and you think, well,
no chance.
That's that.
Right.
And they just never feel like they're done.
Yeah, they have a will and a fight in them that you're right, they don't give up. And that's the great thing about youth. They don't know any better. Yeah, let's put a spark in Tito.
Yeah.
How many managers can get Cocoa Butt on a walk-off? I mean, that's like WWE.
He may wear a full football helmet out there the next time.
What was that?
The Cocoa Butt, yeah.
That's the original.
Bobo Brazil.
Oh, Bobo Brazil. I
Yes,
know that
indeed. That's going back, Andre. That's before you.
one. I think we need to get football helmets from everybody, all the coaching staff. The best is Josh didn't even remember doing it. We were in the clubhouse after the game, and all the guys are watching the post game in the clubhouse, and they're going, "Well, we got to see what he gets Tito." And he goes, "What do you guys mean?" Like, you just did that to Tito.
He had no idea who it was. He just saw somebody saying, "It's
Right.
headbutt me." Okay.
Give me some.
I didn't realize it until this morning, to be honest with you, who it was.
Tito's.
Oh, man.
That was close.
Tito still doesn't know what happened.
You better just take it to the office on the next one. I mean, this was awfully close. There's Miranda at first base looking at it, but no, not as close as I thought from that angle.
Two balls, two strikes. One out here, second inning. Upstairs in a full count.
It's a good pitch to lay off of. The Archer's looking, he's begging, he wants that one. That was up and out of the zone. But that's a pitch where you can get Jimenez a fastball up and away if it's in the zone.
Fights it off, stays
Change
alive
up.
to see another pitch.
This one is away, but it goes to show you. There you'll see the changeup, and how hitters can go ahead and foul pitches off. And that one had to be about 6 inches off the plate.
I've watched Archer a couple starts. He will use that changeup 3-2 or 2-2 a lot.
Yeah.
He won't use it any other time, but with two strikes, he will use it.
Especially the left-hander.
There you go.
And then that's his put-away
Slider,
pitch. A
yep.
slider that's a ball.
Right.
It's a back foot slider. I'll tell you, it's almost like a left-hander that goes to the right-handers, and that cutter that they throw, the good left-handers used to throw, they throw it for a ball, but they get the swings and misses because he throws it at the right time. He set that up really
Sets it
well.
up, you're right.
He did the same thing to Kwan in the first inning. Set it up with change-ups away, and you look it away, and then the next thing you know, you see that spinner coming in, and it's for a ball, but you swing.
Well, the one thing Archer said he appreciates about the Twins organization, when they signed him, they didn't rush him. They let him get prepared the way they thought it was best, and as you talked about, they kept him under 90 pitches, and he feels like he's getting stronger because of that, not getting rushed right into throwing 100 pitches.
Richie Palacios not in the original starting lineup. Batting in the 7th spot was a straight-up change. Oscar Gonzalez was initially penciled in, but a late scratch. Palacios has only started 7 games, so this is only his 8th start in the month of June. This is game 28. So playing time has been few and far between. A lot of pinch hit opportunities. That's kind of been his role, a role in which he has really excelled at. But very difficult for a young player, especially a rookie. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Chris Archer, as I said, originally drafted by Cleveland back in '06. 2 years later, they traded him to the Cubs in the Mark DeRosa deal. Cubs sent him to Tampa in exchange primarily for Matt Garza. But there was another outfielder involved in that trade by the name of Brandon Guyer.
Oh, God.
Who
Yeah.
ended up with Cleveland.
The dartboard. Hit by more pitches.
Yeah.
He was the guy that would take a hit by pitch.
Lower half.
Yes, he would
Never
move.
moved.
Kept those feet locked in, cemented into the batter's box.
Tried to give that one a ride. Full count.
So he had a 2-0 changeup, now a 3-1 slider. Let's see what he goes with here.
Bounced it in there. Ball 4. And that's the one thing that it has to be pointed out for Palacios, when you're not getting everyday playing time and a lot of at-bats, he didn't just go up there and give you 3 big rips and head back to the dugout. He puts up a quality at-bat.
Yeah, he does. He gets the 2 strikes and he gives in a little bit.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, Matt, because if you look at his minor league numbers, his on-base percentage was great. He was one of those guys that didn't strike out a lot and walked more than most in the minors. But you've seen him be aggressive here, but you just saw in that at-bat, he does have patience in his game when he has the opportunity.
Well, yeah, it's hard to be patient when you come to the big leagues and you're not playing, and you better get after the first 1 or 2 pitches. I can see that. He's got a good approach.
Sandy Leon. He spent 25 games with the Cleveland Ball Club back in the pandemic season of 2020. Or I should say he played in 25 games. Just recently reacquired from Cincinnati. He was at AAA Louisville. It was an emergency situation when Austin Hedges had to be placed on the 7-day concussion IL. He figures to be back soon, so Leon's time with Cleveland could be very brief. But as evidence already today, he's paid dividends throughout Luis Arraez in the first inning trying to steal. Gives you solid veteran pro behind the plate.
A tough time now. Well, that's Savali he's talking to, right? That's tomorrow's starter. I wonder if is he ready to come off by tomorrow, or does he have to stay on for 7 days?
Active until lost track, Saturday or Sunday. Called a strike. Ted Barrett. A little generous to Archer.
Well, if he passed test, Matt, he can come back. That's why they let him catch a bullpen yesterday. Now he's obviously getting a little bit better because we're actually starting to hear him again. But he has to pass all the concussion tests to be able to play.
And the trainers give the tests?
Yes. But I'm guessing they're not gonna let him just run right back out there the way he wants to. The last game he started was Saturday? Last Saturday, I believe, against Boston. Because he was off Sunday. Yes.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch down low, ball 4.
There's back-to-back walks, and he's had 4 full counts already. It's his second walk.
And so an opportunity for Miles Straw.
You know, this is the good thing about it, though. He gets the first 2 outs, comes up, and Palacios gets the walk, and Leon. So, you know, you get 2 outs, and you're getting through the bottom part of that lineup. That's where you think he would have to be a little more aggressive here, especially in the second inning. And if they don't pitch him more than 80 pitches, you don't have many to waste, so you better be aggressive when you can.
Two on, 2 out. Miles Straw, the batter. Up and away, ball 1. Here's another one of those oddball statistical anomalies. Heading into yesterday, according to our resident expert, Tom O'Shannon, Cleveland and Minnesota had the exact same number of hits and at-bats and runners in scoring position. Isn't that amazing?
For the year?
For the year.
Look at Tommy. Wow, that's hard to believe. And they've played 6 more games too. So maybe it doesn't matter, Tommy? Okay.
It's still the same number of
no,
hits. It's just, it's weird
incredible
that they would be, I mean, to the letter right down the line. Now in the series, Minnesota's had a little more success, 8 for 36. Cleveland is 5 for 34. But an early opportunity here for Miles Straw. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball strike. Gary Sanchez, after a brief talk with Chris Archer, has him back in the strike zone. Strike called. Miles says, I don't like that. It's up at the top of the zone at best.
No, we've seen a few pitches up out of the zone that have been called.
That gets away, and the runners will both move up on the wild pitch. Palacios to third, Leone down to second. And now 2 in scoring position for Straw.
It's going to be a little slider in the dirt. Sanchez gets down on it, just hits the heel of the glove. It didn't get up and get the chest protector, and that's why it trickled away far enough for the runners to advance. Second wild pitch of the year for Archer.
Good 2-2. Up high. Full count.
This is the fifth full count now. And this is the part of the lineup, like I said, you have to go after and get aggressive. Make him put it in play. He does not do that. And you're going to see pitch number 45.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing that makes the difference.
Up high, ball
How
4.
about that?
3 straight walks have loaded the bases.
He's got nobody to blame but himself.
Here comes the pitching coach, Wes Johnson, and we talked about this before. This will be the last game for Wes Johnson as the Twins pitching coach. It's very unusual that a guy leaves in the middle of the season, but he got an opportunity to go back to the college ranks. He'll be the pitching coach at LSU. Now, it was originally erroneously reported that he was going to get a contract that would double his salary, and everybody initially said, well, that makes perfect sense. You get a deal you can't turn down financially, of course you take it. When the facts came out, he's basically getting the same money. But the difference is, from Wes Johnson's point of view, is that it comes down to he's got young kids. It's a lot less time away from home. The college baseball season, now there is recruiting involved, but it's not as arduous and lengthy as the Major League Baseball season. And he basically said that was the decision. There's nothing more. Don't read anything more into it. And it's just as simple as that. And as Andre reported, he's made a good impact on a lot of the Twins' young pitchers. And Derek Falvey, their team president, told me yesterday, we're going to carry on. We've got guys internally that we like that have done a great job, and they're going to step up and fill those roles, and the train keeps rolling.
As it always will.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Stephen Kwan, the batter, struck out his only time up. A gift-wrapped opportunity on 3 consecutive 2-out walks. Home Depot getting more done. Stephen Kwan, since moving into the leadoff spot, has hit .358. He has been terrific. 2-0.
How about this? This is incredible. I don't know if something's in his mind or his head or what's going on.
Tyler Thornburg, right-hander, is up and getting loose. 33-year-old veteran. Archer was humming along and has just simply kind of lost it here. It's not like he's throwing it all over the place, but that off-speed pitch is in the zone. 2-1.
He just preys on the hitter, swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Is what he does.
Upstairs,
and you can't help him out. He's looking in there thinking that those should be strikes. But I'll tell you what, they're out of the zone. Wow, this is going to be a big pitch for him. And Kwan's the wrong guy to have up in this situation because he'll take no matter what.
Ooh, he got after that 3-1 offering, fouling it out of play, full count.
Well, he felt that might be one, and it looks like Kwan's shaking his head there. He's asking the home plate umpire. I think he's upset at himself and swung, but he thought he was going to get a groove one. It's a slider. But it was a strike. It was in the zone, so he fouls it off. But he wasn't happy with his swing, I can tell you that.
A really big pitch early in this game for Chris Archer. The runners will move on the 3-2. Ball 4. 1-0 Cleveland, and Archer is fit to be tied.
Well, it's his fault. I mean, look at him. He's begging out there.
Looking into the dugout, looking at the umpire.
If you walk 4 straight hitters, and you're talking about 7, 8, and 9, and then you roll it over to the top, and you can't throw a strike, you can't expect the umpire to call it. He hasn't. When's the last time he's thrown two strikes in a row?
4 consecutive walks, and it's 1-0 Cleveland, and Ahmed Rosario is the batter.
But would you be aggressive here early?
In tight, almost hit him.
Why?
I was going to say because they know heaters are coming, but now I see it. He can't throw strikes.
2 in a row. No, don't be aggressive and help him out.
Well, they got behind. Quan got behind and then threw nothing but sliders to try to get back in the count.
Hey, he's in his own mind.
He's searching.
Ground ball to third.
This will
get him out of the inning. 4 straight walks. They get 1, and they take the early lead. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Here are the most games lost to injury this year in the majors. Cincinnati leading the way, then Tampa has endured a lot of injuries. The Cubs, the Nats, and these Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, when you think about the number of games per injury, that is a lot, and we're not even halfway through the season yet.
The big ones as far as the number of games, Kenta Maeda, who's missed every game because of Tommy John surgery. That middle finger strain for Randy Dobnak, he's missed every game so far this year. Alcala out of the bullpen has missed 75 games. And then Miguel Sano had the knee surgery. He's missed 57 games. Chris Paddock, who again was the key guy in that.
That's the big one to me.
Trade, 49 games he's missed.
Yeah, when you think about those pitchers, they are. I mean, if they're starters, they're only missing 1 out of every 5 games. But still, I mean, they're not on your roster, and you got to replace them. So
puts a strain on the bullpen in the
sure
long
it
run.
does.
But if you talk to team trainers and the doctors around the teams, they're not surprised by the injuries because of the offseason and because of the short spring training. This doesn't come as a surprise to those that saw how the offseason went.
Everybody was saying it's going to happen, right? Everybody was out there kind of blowing the horn saying, look out, there's going to be a lot of injuries this year.
You never know who's working out in the offseason when there's no one to watch.
Swing and a miss. He tied him up. 3rd strikeout for Shane Bieber. Let's go to the top of the order now. Luis Arraez.
Now there's the breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Swing through it.
You guys have talked about the success the Guardians have had against Arraez in this series. Hasn't been ultra aggressive early in the count, Arch. Last at bat to start the game, though. 2nd pitch, he was ready to swing it. He's a good hitter, and I'm sure he knows that Bieber's going to be around the plate.
Exactly. He throws a lot of strikes early. That's how they have to do it. They've jumped a couple guys that they know are going to throw strikes early. Now, if you want to throw that pitch there or a breaking ball sometimes, no, you won't swing. But the first one was down, or the second pitch was down in his zone. He likes it down.
One thing Terry Francona says about Arraez that he loves is that he understands who he is as a hitter. He says so many young hitters are just up there swinging. He said, but you can tell the pitches he takes, how he kind of talks to himself in between pitches. He says he loves watching that because you can tell he knows who he is when he's in that box.
Perfect leadoff man.
Yes.
He's going to get a lot of at bats, and he's going to put up quality at bats. He'll take the walk, put it in play, have a high on base percentage. Doesn't strike out much, so he's a good leadoff hitter.
Andre, when we were in Minneapolis, you saw the mutual admiration that Luis Arraez has for Jose Ramirez. And Derek Falvey told me that the one similarity he sees between Arraez and Ramirez is that when he was signed and was working his way through, nobody really saw him coming.
Wow.
He didn't get a lot of pats on the back. Oh, this guy's going to be a guy.
Right.
He's had to work hard for everything. And he's got his second hit of the afternoon.
And that still holds true. He still does a routine every morning when they don't have a day game. He does a routine at home before he comes to the ballpark every single day.
Well, he picked on a high fastball in this at-bat, took it to left, hit the breaking ball to right in first at-bat, goes the other way in his second, and he's 2 for 2.
Byron Buxton struck out his first time up. Look out as he shoots it over toward the Cleveland dugout.
One of those finders.
Leave me alone.
Look at, leave me alone. Turn on your mic.
Leave me alone. Hey, man, there's been a lot of balls in over here this series.
Yes, sir.
We went a long time without getting any. Now we're getting a ton over here.
When it rains, it pours.
Throw this one in the back of your window on the way home tonight.
Easy out there. Leon called off by Owen Miller, and wisely so. 2 down. Much easier player for Owen. And we'll get a word from Spectrum Mobile.
Spectrum Mobile has the best deal in mobile. 2+ lines of unlimited for just $29.99 each. Switch and save up to 60%. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
Two down, Carlos Correa, who walked his only time up. Takes a pitch low, ball 1. Correa is really on fire. In his last 20 games, he's batted .342 with 3 doubles, 6 home runs, and a dozen knocked in. It's just one of those things where I know inflation, things always go up. It's hard to wrap your head around one guy making $30 million. It's just.
It is, because
that's a big number.
It is, but that's the way it's even bigger when it's given to a pitcher and they play once every 5 days.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, they earn it. They obviously have the money to pay him, or they wouldn't be making it.
Spoken like a true player.
Thank you,
I
Matt.
didn't say give him 7, 8, 10 years.
No, but see, I agree with you. I got no problem with the amount.
And that's
the years or what
smart
I do.
deal
Right,
for Minnesota.
Well,
yes, 3 years.
Now I think you're going to see more contracts like his where there's opt-outs after every year.
Well, Matt brought that up earlier in the year about pitchers and how you were seeing more teams go to these short deals with pitchers, especially the older ones that have had arm injuries. And I think that's great. What's wrong with the 2-3 years?
Nothing.
Right field, that's going to get down for a base hit. Kwan grabs it. Arraez stops at second. And once again,
well, you can see where Correa, he's got a game plan when he goes up there. He's not trying to pull Bieber's slider. He's trying to stay on the baseball and take it the other way. He throws the fastball here and takes it that way. But he's primarily, I think, looking for the breaking ball, you know, so he can stay back with it. If he makes a mistake, you can juice him. But take the base hit that way. That'll get you more pitches on the inner part of the plate.
Does that come with trusting his hands, that he can let the ball get deep and do that?
Yes, he's a good hitter, absolutely.
Because we saw last night with Eli, they tried. It was almost like they felt like he was sitting on changeup.
He probably, yeah, but he couldn't get it by him.
Right. Well, that's what
you foul it off.
That's what Naylor said last night. He was looking changeup at most of that at bat. He said, "Okay, if he's not going to throw me one, I'll shoot the fastball the other way."
He got down. He got a fastball down, not up.
Yeah.
Max Kepler, an infield hit in the first.
I think a lot of hitters are afraid to sit on breaking balls because they won't get the fastball. But most of them foul it off anyway when they're looking for it.
There's only a certain type that can sit and hit both of them.
Yeah, you're great hitters, and the guys that drive in a boatload of runs.
Guys that make $30 million a year.
That's right. Now we're talking.
See, I knew how to get you to it.
Andre Carlos Correa called. He told me 35.
Oh, my bad.
So he wanted me to.
Did he text you?
Yeah, he wanted me to make sure I got that right.
Inflation had jumped up on us, huh? 35 million.
And you think Minnesota's in the same like market category that Cleveland is? I'm starting to think that's not really
true.
The same. No, some things are not the same. But again, to your point, and as the wise Charlie O. Finley said a million years ago, make them all free agents.
Make them all free agents. They'll flood the market
every year, you know. And so if you're going to invest that kind of money on a one-year deal,
why not?
It's not the end of the world.
No.
If it doesn't work out, you move on. It's the 10-year, the 6-year deals where you're locked in. And if that doesn't work out, look, I mean, that can really tie you up as an organization.
And the way with Correa, the way it really works, if he has insurance, and if he were to get hurt or something else, he has the option to pick it up for another year, you know, as a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal. So both sides, to me, are taken care of when it's built like this.
Yeah. 3-1 offering. Yeah. That's a strike paying at the outside.
Two pretty good pitches after he fell behind him 3-0. Got to make another quality pitch here.
Yeah, full count. Jose Miranda waiting on deck. Just over 50 pitches now for Shane Bieber. Runners go, and a foul back.
Ball landed up in one of those loges, took a bounce, and the one guy stuck his hand out and clanked off it and went down to the seats. That's an error.
You wouldn't know anything about that.
T-shirt for you.
Yeah, you're made.
There he is. They got him, boy. Look at him. He's hiding. You can't hide on us.
He's supposed to be at work.
That's an E on you.
Man, bases loaded now for Bieber. Out comes Carl Willis. Sandy Leon will have a little chat. Jose Miranda is going to be the batter. Cleveland will welcome in the New York Yankees beginning tomorrow night. It's going to be Aaron Savali and Garrett Cole. And then Saturday evening, it'll be Tristan McKenzie against nasty Nestor Cortez. And on Sunday in the series finale, it'll be Zach Plesac and left-hander Jordan Montgomery going for New York. And that will wrap up the longest homestand of the year. And we'll head out on the 4th of July to open up a road trip in Detroit.
And guess what? Doubleheader on Monday, baby. Day-nighter.
Yes, sir. It's like spending on your credit card. Eventually the bill comes due. All those rainouts.
Yeah, but why does he sound so excited about it?
Yeah, I love those things now.
He just loves misery.
He loves a long day to the ballpark.
Yeah, he loves misery for us is what he loves.
Why not? What else are you going to do on the road?
Nada. Hang out at the ballpark all day with Arch. They should put a camera on us between games.
Arch is going to give us a tour of his Detroit from the 1970s.
Oh, I can't wait.
All the spots that were.
We're going to Lindell's AC and get a couple of burgers.
That is trouble. That's a gapper, and that is going to tie the game. And now maybe take the lead. Here's no throw to the plate. Kepler scoring all the way from first. A bases clearing double, 3-2, or excuse me, 3-1 Minnesota. So how about Jose Miranda? He's had himself a series, and he continued. The more you see him, the more you think, wow, this guy's got to play every day too for Minnesota.
He made him pay. Bieber looking up, and it looked like he had a fastball, and he drives it into the gap in right center field. Guys are off and running. They weren't expecting Kepler to come all the way, but you got to expect it. The ball hitting the gap with 2 outs. You know they're going to send him. They do. He scores without a throw. Miranda's 11th double, and they make Bieber pay for the 2-out walk there.
And there's your big difference. That Cleveland had the bases loaded on walks, could not take advantage other than a bases loaded walk to drive in 1 run. The 2-out, 3-run double though from Miranda. Here is the big hit so far in the game. And now Alex Kirilloff scorched one to first that was caught by Owen Miller in the 2nd inning. And on a day with the mercury rising, it's warm, humid. Bieber is having to work hard, just as Archer did at the bottom of the 2nd inning. Good slider down and in. It's 2-1. Topper to first. This should end the inning, and it will. Minnesota with the big hit here in inning number 3 has taken a 3-1 lead. Twins lead it now. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Liberty Mutual field coverage. Here are the guys with 15 or more homers, 20 or more doubles on the year. Jose Ramirez, Rafael Devers, Paul Goldschmidt, and Bryce Harper.
Quite a group.
And Harper is the odd man out because he's injured and he'll be down for quite a while. Jose Ramirez a single in the 1st inning. Chris Archer, he was wobbling. They had the bullpen up. He was maybe 1 hit away from being out of the game in the 2nd inning. 4 consecutive walks.
Yeah.
To force in Cleveland's only run.
Well, how about this in his 2 innings? He's faced 11 batters before this inning starts. He had thrown 53 pitches, and out of those, only 5 have been put in play. With the walks, some foul balls. It's incredible. He's afraid of contact.
It's 2-0, and you can see Archer, I mean, body language-wise, he's been asking home plate umpire Ted Barrett about some calls. He's been looking into his dugout, looking for help there. Just out of sorts today.
Well, this is one guy, though, if you're a defender, you don't like playing behind these guys. He's shaking his head. You know, you can see he's talking to himself out there. But you know what? These guys are standing around waiting for something to happen. That's when the defense folds.
Borderline pitch there, called a strike.
Especially after his offense came right back and gives him 3 runs.
Oh my, 3-1. Gets a huge break here. And Jose Ramirez fouls out, 1 down. Wow.
Well, we're going back to last inning, and you're going to see the walks. 4 straight walks to give the Guardians a run. And then next thing you know, okay, we're going to get a ground out, which ended the inning. Rosario, that was on the second pitch on a 1-0 count.
Chris Archer's career began to flourish when he went to Tampa Bay. But even so, in 7 seasons with Tampa, sure there were a lot of high moments, but overall 54 and 68 in 7 seasons with Tampa. Now his earned run average, hey, 368, that's solid, no question about it. But a lot of folks at the time wondered about the trade when Tampa sent him to Pittsburgh. A lot of the folks in the National League were going, what are the Pirates doing? In order to get Chris Archer, which, hey, at the time you think, hey, this is a solid guy to put in your rotation, but the price they paid, Austin Meadows,
Right.
phenomenal outfield. Tyler Glasnow, who became a lights-out pitcher for Tampa Bay. You know, since has kind of slid back the other way, but at that time. And then ultimately they parted with their first-round pick in 2017, Shane Bass. So the 3-for-1 that trade ended up being heavily favored Tampa. Never worked out for Pittsburgh. As Archer looks back on it, he said, hey, look, I wasn't healthy. In Tampa, I was healthy. I was able to go out and pitch. In Pittsburgh, it was one thing after another. Injury-wise, it cost a whole host of people jobs in Pittsburgh. And it's just one of those deals. You know, if I knew then what I know now, I probably wouldn't have made that deal. But
We look at that deal, and you're right. But look at all the pitchers around baseball that left Pittsburgh and taken off. Charlie Morton was there. I mean, think of all the guys they've had. Tyon, yes.
They got their guy closing up out of the bullpen.
I mean, imagine if they would have just kept those guys together. Pittsburgh would be in a completely different situation than they are today.
Well, no, they'd have to pay somebody.
Well,
Garrett Cole's another one.
Yeah.
3-1, hard hit ball. What a play by Miranda. He stayed right with a tricky hop. 2 down.
But we've talked all week long about the Minnesota situation with starting pitching. We know what the Guardians do with their starting pitching. Just imagine if the Pittsburgh Pirates would just keep their pitchers and not give their starters away.
You know, some of it ends up being, you know, with Garrett Cole, you knew it was finances. It was, hey, we're not going to be able to afford to keep him. Let's got to get something while we can and move on.
Easy to look back and but I'm sure a lot of Pittsburgh fans are just shaking their head every day when they see the starters across the league.
Owen Miller. It's why, you know, in Cleveland, you may produce a bumper crop, but you can't stop. You've got to continue to draft. You've got to continue to develop and hope that pipeline continues to produce.
And I know Derek Falvey is trying to do the same thing with Minnesota. He's heard our conversation.
Miller hit. And it comes with 2 outs, just as the walk last inning. With 2 outs, got Cleveland going.
Yeah, this is the 3rd inning. After watching Archer pitch, if you swing at a first pitch, you got to have your head examined. This guy's going to walk you if he can. I mean, even if he gets strike 1, he won't throw another one for a few pitches.
So you're saying your aggression against him can be
you're going to get yourself out.
Right. He's almost 50-50, 32 strikes, 33 balls.
Got about 15 pitches left, and he's done too, by the way.
No doubt. I mean, so why even help him out? He does not want to throw strikes. Just stay patient. It'll be a 2-2 count, and you won't even have to swing. He's aiming it now.
Slider and swung through it 1-1. Jimenez batting .330 over his last 29 games. That includes 4 doubles, 4 homers, 15 runs knocked in. He swung at a pitch way off the plate, 1-2. Almost like they don't believe last inning happened. Urshela with the play, and that'll end the inning. 3 complete, 3-1 Minnesota.
Top of the 4th inning here in Cleveland. 3-1, the Twins lead the Guardians. Al Pulowski with you. Time for a Ken Gamley Kia game break. Late last night in Southern California, Shohei Ohtani was at it again. He struck out 11 Chicago White Sox. It makes the 3rd straight game that he struck out at least 10 while not allowing a run. Just 2 other Angels pitchers have done that in the franchise's history, Nolan Ryan and John Lackey. Shohei Ohtani's got some pretty good company. Angels a winner. Matt and Rick.
Thanks out. Gary Sanchez going to lead off for Minnesota here in the 4th inning. And the White Sox just continue to flounder. 4 games under 500. And they start today 4 games behind Cleveland. 6 games off the pace in the AL Central. First ball swinging. Chop to third. Jose Ramirez. Throws out Gary Sanchez. 1-0. Gio Urshela to the plate.
Number 15, Gio Urshela.
Yeah, these Twins will go back to Minnesota and play Baltimore for 3, and then they head out to the White Sox. So they'll have an opportunity to get a chance to play in the division again after 3 quick ones against Baltimore.
Gio Urshela, last Friday, he went 0 for 4 against Colorado. He was the cleanup hitter that night. And the following day, he went from the cleanup spot to 9th in the order. And the reporters were asking Rocco Baldelli if there was some sort of
what did he do?
Message being sent. Is it a vendetta? What's the deal? He's like, no, it's just the nature of making lineups. He has. Going into this series, he had used 70 different lineups in 74 games. In fact, since Baldelli took over, it's the 6th time he has had a hitter bat 4th one day and 9th the next. Is that a theory?
Oh, nice stop.
Bieber with the backhanded flip, and Miller.
Arch, as a player, and I know things are different. Is it weird coming to the ballpark not knowing if you're going to be cleanup or 9th? You got to take your ego away almost, right?
I don't know, but if you don't have a set lineup, I don't know. I'm not going to answer that because it didn't matter. I was happy to be in a lineup every day. Doesn't matter where you hit.
But you know that there are guys that do like being in certain spots in the lineup, knowing who's going to be in front of them, who's going to be behind them.
Well, the difference is if a manager changes the lineup nowadays, he's got to tell the player.
Right.
And you got to explain yourself to him. In the old days, if you didn't like it, they'd
take you out. Well, it's not
you
even.
don't want to play? Fine. See you later.
I don't think Rocco has to do that. Otherwise, he'd spend all his time talking to players.
Well, I think his bench coach does a lot of that work, to be honest with you guys.
That's every day. You're basically changing a lineup in some form or fashion. And that's not him. I'm not knocking Rocco Baldelli because I think the players are just different nowadays.
There are other teams that do it as well.
I think they're just programmed a little differently to where they don't expect to show up and I'm batting 3rd. That's where I hit.
Right.
They just figure, like Rick said, if I'm in one of the top 9 spots, I'm good.
Well, you should be. You'll be happy. If you don't like it, then you don't have to play.
I'm happy to be here with you, Arch. Don't you ever worry. Whether I'm first,
I know you're already
last.
complaining.
I want to go to this place in Michigan that you told us about.
Lindell, AC?
I got a feeling if we go somewhere in between games with you, we won't be back for game 2.
You may not be back. Or you'll be late.
Andre, what do you think the odds of this place is still around?
Oh, it's not. It's not around anymore. I can tell you that.
If the walls could talk, then we would have some stories.
No, we'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble.
You'd be in trouble.
Not a point.
No, you just have your team party in there every night with some cheeseburgers.
Nothing wrong with cheeseburgers and partying.
They had good ones there too.
4th of July doubleheader.
I don't know. To me, Lindell sounds a lot like the theatrical.
No, it wasn't.
Not that
Two
nice.
different places.
Not that nice.
Wasn't that classy.
Not that classy. That's not the hardest type of spot.
Just come in the back door and don't worry about it.
To be able to go back in time with Arch.
That sounds like Dukes won't tell motel.
Speaking of Dukes, man, I'm sure Duke Sims spent a few games in there, as everybody has.
3-2, fouled back. Gilberto Celestino struck out his only time up in the third.
Arch, what have you thought of him as an outfielder? Because I know the guys over here have been impressed by his arm and how he can run some balls down.
Yeah, you know, he ran a ball down last night. And
Owen Miller. Owen Miller says, try somebody else. You're not getting one by me today. Second time he has snared a line drive. And the Twins go 1-2. Well, tomorrow night, the New York Yankees come to town. Guardians live pregame, 6:30 p.m. Presented by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. Alan Jensen will get you all set for first pitch action. Richie Palacios leads off. Cleveland down 3-1. So far, this is a game that makes absolutely no sense. Archer walked 4 straight, forcing in a run, but it came with 2 outs, and that's all they got. He's thrown 70 pitches, only 36 of those have been strikes, almost 50-50. He's hit a batter, but Cleveland only has 1 hit. Meanwhile, Shane Bieber has looked pretty much like Shane Bieber, except with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. He gave up a 3-run bases clearing double to Jose Miranda, and that's all the scoring so far. Richie Palacios down 0-2.
I think that bullpen is got to get close. I know he's at 7, 8, 9, but the last time he faced him, he walked all 3 of them. And I see some bullpen guys out there pacing, and he hasn't thrown 80 pitches yet this year. He's at 72. So this may be the first time you see him do it, and still probably won't get through 5.
The 1-2, up and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right at the first baseman, Miranda. 1 down. We'll get a word right here from the Cleveland Clinic.
Cleveland Clinic. Get the care you need when and where you need it. Visit clevelandclinic.org/access.
Sandy Leon to the plate. Nine out of the 16 batters that Cleveland has sent to the plate have seen at least 5 or more pitches against Archer. Sandy Leon swings through it, 0-1. That's a big reason why his pitch count is sitting where it's at. One ball and 2 strikes. They popped him up. Playable if Urshela can get there, and he will easily. 2 down. It has not been pretty for Archer, but somehow he's only allowed 1 run.
No, but this will be the first time he's thrown 80 pitches in any start.
Miles Straw drew a walk back in that 2nd inning. That 2nd inning is when he walked 4 in a row.
Yeah, that was a killer.
The only hit, Jose Ramirez with a single in the 1st.
You know, and what gets me is when Archer's in there throwing, he's looking at the umpire on pitches that are close to try and get a call when he's all over the place. And that's going to upset the umpires more when you look in and you have emotions or reactions.
Fastball a little low. 3-0.
See, that was a good pitch, but I think that's punishment for him up there.
I tend to agree with
putting
you.
the tin cup out. I guarantee it. And now there's the walk.
Another 2-out walk. This is how it began in the 2nd inning. Back to the top of the order, and Stephen Kwan. Straw has stolen 11 out of 12 on the year, but it's been a while for him. Modest lead at first. And ball 1 to Kwan. And now we'll get a left-hander up in the Minnesota bullpen.
It's not Thielbar. It's the only other one they have.
That'll be Moran.
Correct.
1-1. Tell you what, watching Chris Archer pitch today is like watching Andre eat. It's all over the place.
It takes a little while for him.
That means he's going to leave a little bit for everybody at the end.
Yes, he is, and then some. He shares nicely.
There's going to be a lot to clean up.
You said there's going to be a lot of crumbs out there, huh?
Yeah, the bullpen's going to have a lot to clean up today. 43 balls, 43 strikes.
This is not the guy you want on getaway day.
That's true. I think that's why we changed it to a day game.
Do you think because he's going over his 80 pitches, Arch, they're doing this because of the bullpen situation?
I would think
it's got to be that, right?
Yeah, I would think so. They're trying to get as much as they can.
Someone with their team
out
told
of
me.
him. And he was facing the bottom part of the
Right.
lineup there, and I think they'll extend it, but he certainly will not come back after this inning if he gets through it.
I was told that Rocco is being very careful with that bullpen with certain guys he wants to see against us, and he doesn't want to pitch certain guys
Can you
against
blame
us.
him?
No.
Ball 4, unbelievable.
Wow.
Second time today. He's had 2 outs in an inning and walked at least 2 in a row. He walked 4 straight in the 2nd. Here comes Wes Johnson again.
6 walks today. I mean, this is crazy.
Ahmed Rosario was maybe a little too aggressive in the first and let him off the hook, but there were 2 outs in that inning.
I was told by one of the writers that cover the Twins that, they were asked him last night why he didn't go to Tyler Duffy. And I guess it's because he says, well, he hasn't been successful against this team, and his last 7 outings have been really good. Well, Pagan hasn't had any great outings against. And that's what I go, well, what about Pagan? And the person I asked just put his head down and shook it and said, I know, that's why we asked about Duffy. And in a series like this, you're going to have to pitch him against him sooner or later, right? You can't hide anybody out there.
That's his team. He can do whatever he wants with it. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, hopefully right here, Rosario can make him pay for this before he gets out of here.
You would love to see it. 6 walks, and only one has come around to score to this point. And the funny thing of it is, it starts with 2 outs. Because he had 2 outs in the second and ended up walking 4 straight. He had 2 outs here and is 2 straight. So he finally gets into the strike zone. But it doesn't matter.
It's one pitch. It's a slider. It was in for a strike.
It's the only one he can throw for a strike, Matt. And
that's why he probably throws that pitch the most, because he can control that more.
But the guys feel like he has 2 different sliders, Arch.
Another weak topper.
Time again.
Wow. Well, he lets him off the hook. 4 complete, 3-1 Minnesota. Cleveland Guardians baseball brought to you by Sheely's. The best things in life happen at home. Your local Cadillac dealers. And by Union Home Mortgage, promises kept. Beach day, everybody got a beach blanket. Well, not everybody.
Well, that's all right. They're waving them.
My family got here too late.
Tell them they can have one. I got one. I'll give.
Got to get here early. You can't be showing up late.
Who wants one? Devin? Max doesn't.
Well, Max and my wife were here. Yeah.
Well, they'll have one by the end of the day. Trust me. I think that's mine.
I just got the same text from my family. They must have came in at the same time.
What are you guys out of towels at home? You need towels?
We didn't go on the road for a couple of years, Arch. I couldn't bring them all home. So I'm trying to make up for lost time.
Oh, my goodness.
Luis Arraez 2 for 2. Scored a run in that 3rd inning. Leading off the 5th. Shane Bieber had yielded only 6 hits and 20 at-bats against Arraez before today. Tough to keep a good hitter down, though. He was just 3 for 17 in the series before today. And as Rick said, he was hitting over 360 a week ago when we were in Minnesota.
Oh, man. Who's my man down there? Bobbled and it went off his chin.
Dylan.
That's not Dylan, is it?
It's not. I don't need to take my sunglasses. I think he knows. He won't even show his face. He
knows.
To
me.
That's Dylan. He knows. He don't want to look because he knows.
Look up here.
He keeps saying he's pointing at me. He knows I'm pointing. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad, Dylan.
Tell him to look up here.
Arch is, hey, look at it, Dylan. We know you ain't the MVP no more. Yeah, talk to your boy.
Ready?
He was telling everybody in the clubhouse yesterday. He
hit
knows.
him in the chin. Watch, he's upset. He made one of the best plays we've seen.
He thinks he's the captain.
We
can't
got
be the captain.
him, Dylan. Oh man, I don't know. We got to check. We may have to sit him on day games.
Backhanded by Jimenez, and Arraez is retired for the first time today. One away.
That's beautiful.
And that'll bring up the big man, Byron Buxton, who is 0 for 2.
The kid makes an error, and he instantly knows we're talking about him.
That's presence, Andre.
Well, he's good as your next play, Dylan.
I was talking to Willie over there earlier in the week, and Dylan was standing right outside the door, and he said, "I want my T-shirt." He did. I said, "We don't have them made up yet."
Well, this is the best part. He comes over to talk to the other bat boys on our side to tell them he's a captain and they better catch up with him.
Swing and a miss. Boy, that was nasty. Knuckle curve from Shane Bieber. And the 0-2 pitch. Rolls it to Ramirez. 2 down.
Well, the Yankees are coming in for a 3-game series, and we'll wrap it up on Sunday, and it's going to be Kids Fun Day. After the game, kids will run the bases, presented by Cleveland Clinic Children's. You can get your tickets on CLEGuardians.com, or you can use the ballpark app.
Carlos Correa walked in the first. He singled and scored in the third. Squibb fouled on the right side. One offering. The next time Minnesota comes to Cleveland, they will once again play a 5-game series with a doubleheader.
I think, you know, they're so rare. The one time, and I forget what year it was, we were snowed out one week. I think 1980 or something like that. We ended up playing 5 games, and I think once in Milwaukee and maybe once in Boston. You know, when there was only 2 divisions.
Make it all up.
To make it up later in the year, yes. And I'll tell you, that's not. You're not used to it. 4-game series seem too long, and when you attack in that one doubleheader, that really makes it tough. So I think both teams are sick of seeing each other.
I can't even imagine how odd it's going to be at the end of the season when Kansas City will be here for 6 days.
Right.
Not just 6 games, but 6 straight days.
That's unheard of.
Oh, is that made? Nice play, Tristan McKenzie.
Yeah, but you notice he had the glove on.
That's why he brings the glove.
That's right. Wear a glove and go ahead. Some of those guys in there, they come flying in. They go for bare hands.
Well, there's a reason why he has a glove. We've been getting him smoked over here. I got no friends. You won't even sit by me.
You know what? You should have a glove down there that you can put in your bag.
These right-handed hitters, from the Twins have not been nice to us. Nobody will sit by me anymore.
It's not the hitters. The Twins go 1-2-3. Bieber gets strikeout number 4. Time for our T-Mobile coverage cam. As a comedian, a stand-up comedian, the #1 rule is know your audience. Jose Ramirez, not the best audience here for Carlos Correa. Correa thought it was funny. I didn't see Jose even crack a smile.
He tried to sneak his way in there, though.
Jose Ramirez will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher for Minnesota is Giovanni Moran. Cleveland trying to call to the bullpen. Moran, no wins or losses. This is his 10th appearance, a 1.46 ERA, 12 1/3 innings, 17 strikeouts, only 6 hits allowed.
Had a nice arm. We saw him the other day. It was a game 2 of the doubleheader.
The only thing you can say about Minnesota starter Chris Archer today is that he was so bad, he was good. He walked 6 batters, but only allowed 1 hit in 4 innings of work and threw 90 pitches. The only run was when he walked 4 consecutive batters in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, it was, you know, that's probably, not a fun guy to face because he's all over the place. 45 balls, 45 strikes, and to get the third out in the 4 innings, it took him 45 pitches.
Strike call to Jose Ramirez. That's a good note.
Well, don't worry, you'll have it next inning too, in case you want to use it again. And Andre, I'm sure, will get a text.
He'll text it down to him. Wow. Struck him out, and not many pitchers make Jose Ramirez look mortal.
There's that fastball, the rider. He threw it by him right there, and that's hard to do. You don't throw too many fastballs by Jose, but he did right there.
Josh Naylor is 0 for 2 today. Pops the first pitch up on the infield. Correa. 2 down. And that will bring up Owen Miller.
Number 6, Owen Miller.
Giovanni Moran was selected by, oh, did you see that? Did he
Yeah,
make
he's
that
pointing
play?
at Andre.
Oh, yeah.
See, he came back.
That's the way you come back.
There's Dylan.
He's
No,
getting
see, he's
Nux
getting
in the
Nux.
dugout.
Yes, he is.
I mean, come on.
That.
Stop it. Don't give him all. He's looking at you now. He's pointing up at you. We created a monster.
When he makes an error, he looks at you. When he makes a good play, he looks up here.
I don't think Freddie appreciates that on our side.
Freddie wants some love over here.
Go make a play, Fred.
Oh, look, even Rocco's giving him 5. Come on now.
Not a play to the right.
All right, we're going to get a look at it here.
Maybe. Let's see.
Yeah, let's hope we get a good
Off
one.
the catcher's mask and.
Oh, he's getting dirty. Look at Dylan.
He picked it up.
Look at
That's a shoestring catch.
And then he starts pointing. Look at him.
Yeah. Take that.
I want my shirt.
You know what? You finally woke him up on a day game. There it is. Dylan, good play.
Swing and a miss. Owen Miller goes down. Giovanni Moran shuts him down here in the 5th. 3-1 Minnesota.
Well, a Grand Slam Beer Fest is coming to the ballpark on July 9th. You can sample from more than 200 craft beers, seltzers, wine, and craft cocktails, and enjoy great food and live entertainment throughout the day. Tickets go on sale now. They're at cleguardians.com/beerfest.
Sixth inning. Max Kepler to lead off for the Twins.
This will probably be Shane's last inning, starting the inning at 88 pitches. He's now 89 going into the 6th. That one hit again back in the 3rd inning is what caused him. It was for 3 runs. I mentioned in his last start against Boston, it was late in the ball game. It was at the 7th inning. It was a 2-0 curveball that went for 3 runs into the seats. It's hard to believe sometimes just one pitch could hurt so much, but it does in this game. It's cruel sometimes.
Well, and as you just pointed out, he's had the misfortune of making that one bad pitch in the worst possible time.
Right, and no matter what it is.
Bases loaded, 2 out.
Right there, fastball elevated out over the plate. Plugged a gap in right center field, and by the time they could get it in. All 3 runners aboard scored, and that's just it. The one hit right there. Other than that, he's been locked in.
Trevor Stephan is up in the Cleveland bullpen as Bieber closes in on the 100 pitch mark here today. Rick, I didn't know much about Jose Miranda before this year, but the more we see him, the more I like him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's been a few young Minnesota Twins players that have impressed me here in a 5-game series.
Got him to chase there. What the Twins like about him is his versatility defensively, so he's not pigeonholed into one spot. They feel like they can move him around. Mostly, I think we've seen him at first base.
And third. He was at third.
Center field, line drive, caught by Miles Straw. 2 down.
But for Shane Bieber, I mean, he's been locked in. The slider's been working. He's got some swings and misses, struck out 4. He has walked 2. And the one walk was back in that 3rd inning with 2 outs. But, you know, Shane goes out there, moves it around. He's not an easy at bat, and he's going to make you work if you want to try and solve him. Change up to start off. Kirilloff for strike 1. You look at his usage. Slider, 47 of them today for almost 50% of his pitches. The fastball and knuckle curve 15 times today. Changeup's usually only to the left-handed hitters. He's thrown 4.
Back out of play. Stephan appears to be ready. The 1-2 coming up here to Kirilloff. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 5 Ks for Shane Bieber, and he retires the final 10 batters in a row. Franmil Reyes has a bat. Casey's called upon to pinch hit. Cleveland has 3 consecutive left-handed hitters due up to start this 6th inning, and the lefty Giovanni Moran out for a 2nd inning of relief work. Moran was drafted by Minnesota in the 7th round in 2015 out of the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy in Puerto Rico.
No kidding.
He had an opportunity to go to the University of South Florida on a baseball scholarship, and he passed that up to sign with the Twins. He's a left-hander that, you know, he's getting more and more attention. "22 years old, and the thing that jumps out is that Derek Falvey said his swing and miss rates as he's progressed through the minor leagues really jump out at you. So that tells you he's got good quote-unquote stuff. There's a Bouncer up the gut, and
baby.
it ate up Correa. He got footwork tangled up, and look at Jimenez
Keep
hustle
going.
his way into second base.
Great hustle. I'll tell you what, Correa let that ball play him. He laid back on it, and he gave himself a tough hop. And I think he knew it as he was going back, but I love the hustle right there from Jimenez. Not just thinking one thing, but he just kept running. And the ball deflects high enough, goes off his glove, and you see Celestino was not coming in at the time. He thought he was going to make the play, and rightfully so, but he just put his head down and goes into second base. So that leadoff double makes a huge difference there. But not a double, an error, I should say.
Two-base error on Correa, and hey, that gives you a little spark, a little life.
Yeah.
And Franmil Reyes will bat for Richie Palacios here in the 6th. Fastball misses up and away. Fastball and changeup kind of bread and butter, but Derek said he's got a really good wipeout slider to go with that. So you get a 3-pitch mix guy coming out of your bullpen. That's
well, they got to ease him in. Yeah, his fastball has a little jump to it. He made a good first pitch. He thought he had it, didn't get a call, and comes right back with another good one. And Reyes fouls it straight back. You see, when you get heaters like this that you can hit, you have to put them in play. You miss one, you may not get another good one in an at-bat.
right-hander Tyler Duffy getting ready in a hurry from Minnesota. 1-1 from Moran. Good fastball. Took it for a strike, 2-2. Way outside with that fastball. Now the count has gone full. Still only one hit in the game, and that was in the first inning. The 3-2. Struck him out. Got him with that changeup. Third strikeout for Moran.
Yeah, he just takes something off, and it was in an excellent spot.
Rick, it's a changeup, but it looks like a slider almost, the way it goes down and in.
It does. That's what I thought when he threw that. It looked like it was a slider, but it's not. Maybe the way he throws it off his last three fingers like a circle change. It doesn't go the other way. It comes in.
A little bit like the Danny Salazar changeup from years ago.
Yeah, but didn't he split with his grip there? What they call his grip? What they call his grip? It was something different.
He had that funky when he let go of it. Sometimes he would almost spin it as opposed to letting it come off the outside part of the hand.
Was it the Vulcan
grip or something like that?
I don't think so.
It may not have, but he put it. Wasn't it kind of like a split though? I know what Matt. You're right. It did come out, and he kind of. It was a good pitch.
Sandy Leon, switch hitting catcher, trying to deliver a hit. Cleveland's so good with runners in scoring position this year, but this series, it's been a struggle. taken all the way here, you would assume, on the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. And here comes Rocco Baldelli to make a pitching change. So Moran went 1-2-3 in the 5th inning with a couple of strikeouts. His defense let him down here in the 6th. Correa's error allowed a runner in the scoring position. Struck out Franmil, but walks Leone on 4 pitches, and he is out. Tyler Duffy, right hand, coming on when we come back. Cleveland Guardians baseball brought to you by Levin. Buy it today. Sleep on it tonight. Chevrolet, the #1 selling family of SUVs in the Cleveland area. Spectrum Mobile. Switch and save with Spectrum Mobile. Nationwide 5G included. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. Tyler Duffy, inexplicably absent from much of the season series. He's only faced Cleveland twice. A scoreless inning with a strikeout 2 days ago, and a scoreless inning. No, I'm sorry, that's the only time he's faced Cleveland, at least late. It doesn't go back to earlier in the year, back in May. I can look that up real quick.
Well,
but
he has a good curveball.
But you would think he's a guy that in a 5-game series you would see more than once. Now he's in it
Absolutely.
just the second time.
There's been times where we've seen him. He started games against us when he first came up, out of the bullpen all the time.
Miles Straw has walked twice today. Takes inside, ball 1.
Well, this is their opportunity. They've had another walk in this inning. The error got the inning started. You got to get a hit and mix it up. Can't win if you don't hit.
Yeah, back in May when we faced him, Tyler Duffy pitched 1/3 of an inning. So it's just kind of odd.
Well, certainly they don't have a book on him. Let's put it that way. For this year.
Fastball fouled back. Almost 47% of his pitches have been the curveball. 37% fastballs, and that's just a straight 4-seamer. He will mix in an occasional sinker and changeup. Struck him out. 4 pitches is all it took. 2 down.
Yeah, just stayed. He didn't even come out with his signature pitch, the curveball. He just challenged him right there with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and he swings through it.
And with 2 down, Miles Straw to the plate. He has walked twice. His last 2 times to the plate. Once was with the bases loaded that forced in their only run of this game. And still, the only hit they have came in that 1st inning. Jimenez at second base. Sandy Leone, the tying run, at first. Fastball outside corner. 0-2.
Well, Duffy's coming in throwing strikes. 6 pitches, 5 of them have hit the zone.
What a concept. Here's the curveball. It dips low.
Yeah, that's the one he wants you to swing at. He's got a feel for that pitch. He can throw it at any time.
Souvenir time for that young man. He's got an Akron Rubber Ducks hat on.
Don't show him. Andre would want one.
The 1-2. Up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ahmed Rosario on deck. Deuces wild here in the 6th. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 pitch to first. And after a bobble, Miranda takes it himself. And Cleveland still has just 1 hit through 6 innings. Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Guardians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. Trevor Stephan on the pitch for Cleveland here in the 7th inning, making his 30th appearance on the year. He has struck out 30 batters in 27 2/3 innings of work. He'll have the bottom third of the Minnesota order, but that's in name only. Some decent sticks in the bottom part of the lineup.
But you just have to continue to put zeros on that board until the offense can do something.
Gary Sanchez, Gio Urshela, and Gilberto Celestino will bat for the Twins. You saw Reyes and right. Kwan moves over to left. And here we go. Fouled right back.
Yeah, Sanchez has been aggressive today, early in counts.
He looks like he's in a hurry.
Well, he's seen so many pitches from his starting pitcher today. He wants to get rolling.
I realize that as a professional athlete, there's a million things that are out of your control with regards to your career. But it has to be a little bit of a hit to the ego from Sanchez, even maybe Gio Urshela. It's not the first time he's been moved. But for both those guys to get moved by the Yankees, and hey, you're on a first-place club coming in, so that's nothing to sneeze at. But you look up and you see the Yankees just running away with the East. And yeah, sure, you have to move on. You can't look back, but at the same time,
I would say more so for Sanchez because the catching position has been talked about so well now in New York. You know, and he was supposed to be the centerpiece. He was supposed to be the centerpiece for a while, and they've moved from him, and suddenly their catching position is way better defensively.
Well, and I mean, you look at the atmosphere, you know, when you go to Yankee Stadium, everything's built up, and you get to the Midwest, and it's so laid back, so much different.
Yes.
And that could also have an impact as well.
Gio Urshela takes a breaking ball. Yeah, and again, I think it's different for Gio because he was already a hired gun. He was already on the move. But Dre, if you're Gary Sanchez, he was part of the baby bombers with Judge and Gleyber Torres and the guys that sort of all of a sudden flipped New York back into a real team again.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden you're the guy that gets shipped out.
And now they're on their way to winning who knows how many games.
I mean, 56 and 20.
It's unbelievable.
They're rolling in here tomorrow.
A couple days ago when the Guardians lost, Red Sox lost, and the Yankees lost. It was the first time since like April 20th those three teams had lost in the same day.
Wow.
And with Gio, I think the New York situation helped his career. You know, he kind of found a home, someone that would play him for a couple of years.
He played there. He played shortstop for him. He hit in the
Middle
number
of
4
lineup.
hole at
Right.
times. He
Changed
was
his
very
career.
valuable to him. They
Yes.
loved him defensively.
They did.
At third, at short, whatever he had to do.
But it changed his career where teams wanted him. You know, like the Twins wanted him here for their defensive purposes.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
2 down. Gilberto Celestino 0 for 2. Yeah, we don't know Gary Sanchez. We got to know Gio. You know his personality. He's always going to be upbeat. He's going to bring it every day. Sanchez did take a lot of arrows.
Yeah, it
from
was.
the
Yeah,
work.
but you know, and here's something for Sanchez too. You think of that Yankee pitching staff. This poor guy had to catch it. They had guys throwing 95 to 100, balls moving all over the place, and you know he got beat up back there. And he was trying to catch guys that aren't easy to catch.
Well, Garrett Cole wouldn't even throw to him at one point in time. Remember the playoff game? They started the other guy because he wasn't comfortable with him catching him.
I mean, that's tough. That's tough to deal with.
If you guys have noticed, the Twins seem to be very judicious in how they use Sanchez as a catcher behind the plate. They love the bat. They want the bat in the lineup. But they pick and choose their spots with regards to him.
I'll tell you what,
catching.
that guy they got coming out of their bullpen, Duran, I wouldn't want to catch him. And I don't know many people that can catch him with the stuff he's throwing.
Now, what I heard about him, though, they're using him on 2 innings because they feel like he's stronger going 2 innings than pitching him in back-to-back days. Okay. So when he pitches 2 innings, Art, she's out the next day.
That makes sense. And I mean, you got to be a closer. If you're going to be a closer, you got to pitch back-to-back days.
Right.
Well, you've got to pitch it back-to-back.
Yeah.
Especially if you're winning.
Base hit right field by Celestino. His 4th hit of the series. Turns it back over to the top of the order. And Luis Arraez, who had 2 hits in his first 2 trips to the plate, grounded out back in the 5th. And a word here from Fiesel Roofing.
Fiesel Roofing. Save up to $1,000 off your new roof today. Visit FieselInc.com.
Luis Arraez. And Trevor Stephan, 98-mile-an-hour fastball in there for strike 1.
Got a couple hits today. Hit the second pitch of the ball game off Bieber.
A little low with that splitter, and it's 1-1. Off the glove of Miller, but backed up smartly by Jimenez, and he throws him out. Nicely done by Andres Jimenez to stay right with it. Stretch time in Cleveland. 3-1 Minnesota. Well, that's he's got a miss. You got to eat fast when it's this warm.
Watch out, you're going to get a brain freeze. He is doing it.
Do not let the ice cream win. He's doing his best. Now the Guardians need to get some hits. Ahmed Rosario takes a strike. He is 0 for 3 today, and he has more hits than anybody on the ball club. In the month of June, 41 hits, a .376 average on this, the final day of the month. But the Twins have thrown a wet blanket over him so far.
What section is my man in? It looks like he needs some help with that ice cream. I'm about to go help him
He
out.
gonna go
I'll
well,
bring
it
him
must be
another.
in the sunshine,
Look
so
at
I'm guessing it's on the bleachers.
Is he getting ready? Is somebody timing him? Get it, kid. Get it. Oh, man, he's going to stick your fingers. Oh, this is great. He's more than one spoon, it looks like.
He's got ice cream everywhere except on his spoon.
I know.
I think he likes his fingers better.
1-2. In off the plate. Tyler Duffy got the last 2 outs of the 6th inning, stranding a pair of inherited runners on base in the process. And Ahmed Rosario fights one off. Ahmed Rosario leading the majors in hits in the month of June. But he strikes out here, and he is 0 for 4 on the day. Medical Mutual 5-star report. This has been a team that is never out of a ball game. We've seen it time and time again. They were down 3 in the bottom of the 10th inning last night.
Which side do you think it bothers more, gets under their skin more? Over here where there's a confidence that they can win all the way to the last out, or a team like the Twins that have seen it a couple of times now? It's got to creep in their mind a little bit.
Well,
Rip foul. I mean, it certainly keeps Minnesota unsettled.
I'll tell you what, it creeps into maybe the bullpen's mind because they're the ones that have given it up. And I know the team's thinking, okay, we've got leads, let's go. It's up to them to have to try and shut it down.
Baldelli said it early in the series. When someone asked, are you surprised? He said, no, that's how they play. They fight you to the end. Because I keep telling my team that.
Jose Ramirez has Cleveland's only hit. That was a single back in the 1st inning. This kind of has the feel of that series finale in Minnesota, where after all the dramatics, Cleveland's offense just went flat.
Well, it's not that they've left 9 on base. They've had opportunities. They just can't get a hit.
In that finale last week in Minnesota, they lost 1-0. And that was a frustrating game because remember they had the bases loaded against
Nobody
Joe
out.
Smith, nobody
Right.
out, and they could not get a run home. Struck him out. Josh Naylor coming to the plate. If you missed it last night, in the bottom of the 10th, bang. And here comes Terry Francona with the helmet on. And Tito was probably thinking, that seemed like a good idea, but I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
We're going to have to get him a neck roll. You know,
Yeah,
like
right.
The old fullback for the Cowboys was here today.
Moose Johnson.
Moose Johnson, he used to wear one. We might have to get Tito one of those.
You know, I heard your guy Eric Dickerson on the Pivot podcast talking about the neck roll, and you know, he made it look good in the
Yes,
NFL.
he did.
He said, I stole that idea though from Craig James, who was his teammate at SMU. He said, I just thought it looked good. He didn't really need the neck roll. He just thought it looked cool.
Oh, how you looks, baby.
Right.
Yeah, but kids nowadays would never wear a neck roll, but he did say that. And the one part I liked about it, Matt, he said he didn't like the goggles. He had to wear those.
Right. Yeah. That's amazing. Swing and a miss. You think about the vision it takes to be a great running back. And he said it has nothing to do with eyesight. It's all about feel.
I agree.
Now that you mention it, though, do they still have neck rolls in football?
I haven't seen one in years.
They probably changed the shoulder pads to the point where you don't need it. Down low, 2-2.
Call over to Berea, see if my friends at the Browns can get a neck roll for Tito and a helmet at this point.
Imagine Josh Naylor in full pads coming at you.
No.
Look out. Swing and a miss. Tyler Duffy may be the missing link. He's been absent for most of the year against Cleveland, and he has pitched 2 really good innings.
Slam Beer Fest is coming to the ballpark on July 9th, and you can sample from more than 200 craft beers, seltzers, wine, and craft cocktails, and also enjoy great food and live entertainment throughout the day. Tickets on sale now at cleguardians.com/beerfest.
Rick, there are some of my collegiate friends from Baldwin Wallace who are here today having their own beer fest.
Oh, good. Are they? Do they happen to be in the corner?
They are down. They're among the common people.
Okay, they're out and having fun. How many of them do you have a count? Head count?
By my count, at least 6, maybe more.
Beautiful day for it.
Brian Shaw on to pitch the 8th inning. He's got Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, and Max Kepler due up for the Twins. Buxton 0 for 3. Has struck out, fouled out, grounded out. That famous cutter in for strike 1. Came right back with a slider.
That was well located too at 83.
Inside corner with that cut fastball.
Boy, had him leaning out over the plate. He wasn't looking for anything inside. An excellent pitch. 3 pitches, strikeout, first out of the 8th.
If you could bottle that up, no one would ever hit you.
There you go. He was not looking for that. That's that cutter. Just a hair on the inside part. He'll start it and hope it comes back over the corner, and it did. Good pitch.
Now Carlos Correa singled and scored in the 3rd inning, and he went chasing after a slider. Got the fastball. And foul back. 0-2. Tyler Thornburg was up in the second. What was that? The second inning? Yeah, the second inning of this game, getting loose. And now it looks like he's coming on the pitch in the bottom of the 8th. That's when Starter Chris Archer walked 4 batters in a row, and it looked like he might be out of the ball game. Somehow he survived. Up the middle. Great play by Jimenez. Oh, my goodness. Put that on the highlight reel for sure.
Boy, he had no time for error. You know, Correa gets down the line very well, and he got to it on the backhand. He's jumping, and his momentum is going away from the play, and it's hard to get anything on that throw, but he did a beautiful job of getting enough on it to get him by about a half a step, and that was not an easy pick.
Is that not where the shortstop arm benefits the second baseman?
Yeah, absolutely right. It sure does.
It's that, Matt, and he's still frustrated. The game against the Red Sox. Remember he made the jump stop and tried to throw?
Right,
yeah,
it was
he
wide.
didn't throw a good throw. He was so frustrated by that. Came in the next day and he was working on it. He said because every kid growing up in the last generation saw Derek Jeter make that jump throw from the hole. And he said, I've practiced it my whole life. I can't believe I've made a bad throw on it. So there you go. He made up for it in his homestand.
Well, that was a nice play.
Back out of play by Kepler. It's 0-2. Ooh, man, bounced that one in front of Kepler. Now the 1-2 is down and in again. They got him on the foot. Oh boy. And a 2-out base runner for Minnesota.
That's the plate now. The first baseman, Twins, Jose Miranda.
Back foot slider hit him right on the back foot.
Back foot, right. Not very hard. It just skims off of the toe.
And here is Jose Miranda. Miranda, like the left-handed reliever Giovanni Moran, drafted by Minnesota out of high school in Puerto Rico back in 2016. And a high pop foul territory, playable perhaps. Can he get there? Yes, sir. Owen Miller makes the grab, and we're going to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 3-1 Minnesota. Minnesota's bullpen has been pretty good. Chris Archer only went 4 innings today, but Giovanni Moran went an inning in the 3rd, struck out 3. Tyler Duffy, Rick, he was lights out.
Yeah, he really was. He came out and he was outstanding. He had 4 punchies. And I'll tell you, the nice changeup he had working today. You're going, man, where were these guys hiding?
Toughest team to strike out in baseball, and Minnesota's bullpen today has gone through them. In the last 3 innings, they have struck out, let's see, 7 batters in the last 3 innings.
Yeah, and look at the Pagan and Cotton. They're the ones that have really struggled against the Guardians this year. 15 earned runs in their 10 2/3 innings with 17 hits. 9 strikeouts, but home runs galore, 6 of them combined. They'll turn it over to Thornburg, who's coming on. Tyler Thornburg for the 14th time.
They're going to put Pagan and Cotton on the exempt list the next time Cleveland comes to town. So Tyler Thornburg facing Owen Miller here in the bottom of the 8th. Owen 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. You know, Rick, in some ways, Cleveland should really feel fortunate to have split the 10 games with Minnesota up to this point. They have been out-hit by the Twins now 49-26 in the 10 games plus today.
Well, and you look at it in this series.
Tried to pull the hands in, but couldn't get the barrel to it, and it ends up in the glove of Alex Kirilloff for out number 1.
They've been out-homered in this series 10-1, and it was the one home run where they finally got a win in that ball game. And you know, in the first game of the doubleheader, they were, you know, given 3 runs in that game to beat them 3-2. But there you go. Twins 10 homers.
Josh Naylor's 1 home run was the game winner last night.
It sure is. And I mean, that's why when you fall behind early, if you don't hit home runs, you don't have a chance to win.
Andres Jimenez 0 for 3.
He's been hit, what, 3 times that I can figure out. Boy, they have given him a lot of base runners with the walks and a hit by pitch now.
Jimenez remember he got hit in the ribs by Devin Smeltzer, the left-hander. And then it was Josh Winder that plunked him in game 2 of the series.
Miller was hit today too, so he comes in right on the hip. So he tried to turn away from it. He'll take the slow walk.
Remember you talking about the frustration after you see a team as many times?
Yes.
Some frustration over here. They're sick of seeing him get hit, and they're letting him know. No one's saying anything intentional, what as you've said, or you get hit enough, you don't like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
1 on the ribs, 1 on the hand, 1 on the hip.
And they're saying enough. Like you said, Owen Miller's taking 1.
Well, they need to do something about it with the bat.
Yes, with the bat, absolutely.
Franmil Reyes struck out his only time up as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning. Takes a slider, ball 1. Big slow hook, and that is called a strike. 1-1. Bounced way out in front of the plate. That's a nice job by Sanchez to keep that from skipping away.
There you go. He picked that one on the short hop. Kept it in front.
Three and 1. Now Franmil being patient now. Can he stay there? Can he narrow that focus to one spot right here, and if he gets it, let it rip, otherwise let it go. Ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk. That seems to be their modus operandi today. They haven't been able to hit, but they've had runners all over the place because of Twins pitching.
There's been 6 walks from the 7th hitter on down for this Guardians team today. Of course, in the 2nd they walked and it set up the inning. Reyes ended up logging here. Leon has a couple of walks.
In total, 8 walks, 2 hit batters, 1 hitter reached on an error. Fastball strike to Sandy León. Fastball misses outside. Missed again outside.
My goodness.
3 balls and a strike.
They are really nibbling to the bottom part of this lineup. It's hard to believe.
Three on the right side defensively. 3-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. This is just mind-blowing the way this game has
It
played
really
out.
is.
Wes Johnson going out for another visit with a pitcher who has completely lost his control, and we'll get a word from Levin Furniture.
It's a steal. Ergo Comfort Bed in a Box starting at only $2.99 at Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Minnesota starter Chris Archer walked 4 consecutive batters in the 2nd inning to force home Cleveland's only run of this game.
That's after he had 2 outs.
And then after he had 2 outs in the 4th inning, he walked consecutive batters before he got a ground out to get out of it. In the 6th inning, there was an error and a walk that set up an opportunity, but they couldn't cash in. And now, once again, gift wrap set on the table. Here you go, a hit batter, 2 walks.
It's incredible. They've tried to give you something today, and they haven't been able to get up and take it.
Myles Straw has walked twice and struck out with 2 men on base in that 6th inning. Tying run at second. Go ahead, run at first. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That's about the only pitch we've seen Thornburg throw for a consistent strike, if you call it consistent. That one at the top of the strike zone there. Only 7 out of 17 pitches have been in the zone. And he misses again. 1-1. Twins bullpen is quiet.
Yeah, he wants to take his glasses off so he makes sure he sees it clearly.
That fastball was perfection. Down and away, 1-2. Myles Straw has been through the ringer here in the month of June. Batting just 141 coming into today. Up and in, 2-2. Minnesota has walked 9 batters for the 4th time this year in a game. 2-2. Ground ball and a diving stop by Correa. Throw to third. It gets away. A run is in. Here comes Franmil with the tying run. It's 3-3 and the go-ahead run to third base. Incredible. Correa made a great stop and then a not-so-great flip, and everything went awry from there.
Well, it was actually the only play he had on that dive. He had to go to third base, and as he's falling away, he throws it into the runner, and Reyes is the one running. So Jimenez comes in to score. Now, there's his play. He couldn't go into second, even though the slowest runner was going there. Tried to make a good throw, throws it away, allows that run to score. It'll be his 2nd error, and now they have runners on 2nd and 3rd, and still just 1 out. And boy, oh boy, what an opportunity. They're going to get a pinch runner at 3rd, too, for Leon.
Hey, bottom line is, great job by Myles Straw. That was almost a base hit. tried to pull it through the infield. It was a tremendous stop by Correa, and it still worked out for Cleveland. Still only, here's a pitch to Kwan. They end up giving.
Yeah, he gets a hit.
Gets a hit, so that's their second hit of the game.
And also another error for the wide throw.
Yeah, that's the killer for Minnesota. 3-3 game. Steven Kwan 0 for 2 has walked twice. Good off-speed pitch there, 1-1. Minnesota plays the infield in. Correa is almost behind the pitcher. He is up the middle. Big hole through the left side. And he skips one in there to Sanchez. 2-1. Ball's in the dirt. With Ernie Clement running at third base, you figure, well, you don't figure, that means Luke Maile will come in to catch. And the only man left on the bench then is Oscar Gonzalez, who was originally in the starting lineup but a late scratch, so we don't know about his health or availability.
They're hoping to get a run across right here, without a doubt, with this guy hitting.
Up high, oh no,
yeah,
strike
good
and a good
curveball.
pitch.
He really slowed it down. He was sitting for something on the fastball variety, 3-1, but the curveball comes down into the zone.
Matt, I'll tell you this, I have not seen Oscar Gonzalez out here in the dugout, so I would guess they're down to their last man.
Yeah. Right.
3-2. Broken back, coming home. Here's the throw. It's in time, and Ernie's going to run back to third. They'll just run him back there, and he will be tagged out. Third base umpire Nestor Sejas said he tagged him out. Clement thought he missed him, and he kept rolling.
Going on contact right there. And that's what you do. You try and get in that rundown, and he did his job because he got Kwan back out to second base. You know, you're going on contact. And your job, you don't let him tag you, and he's got to run him back, and he's going to run him all the way back.
Got him on the hip there at the very end.
So
he missed him initially.
Yeah, same situation, except there's 2 outs now, is what happens. So Ernie did his job to get in the rundown, and Kwan got to second base, and now you got to get a 2-out base hit from Rosario, or maybe a wild pitch.
Ahmed Rosario 0 for 4 today. It would be poetic justice if somehow he finds a way to get a base hit in this, in all likelihood, his last at bat in the month of June. Although should this game remain tied and we go to extra innings, anything's possible.
But yes, we know that.
Second and third with 2 down. Popped him up. Miranda. We will go to the 9th. It's now a 3-3 game. And a wild 8th inning, a couple of walks, a hit batter, an error. And it's a 3-3 game. Guardians Live postgame presented by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers comes your way right after this one ends, whenever that may be. Emmanuel Clase will come on to pitch the 9th, try to keep it a 3-3 game and give his guys a chance to walk it off. He'll be facing the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Minnesota: Alex Kirilloff, Gary Sanchez, Gio Urshela. Another Guardians-Twins game, another blown lead for the Twins.
But, they set it up for themselves. I mean, Guardians 2 hits today, and they have 3 runs. The walks and just a couple errors that certainly helped.
I was just talking to third base coach Tommy Watkins of the Twins. He said, this ain't good for my heart. We got to do something else.
Alex Kirilloff takes 98-mile-an-hour fastball strike. And a weak ground ball up the first base side.
That.
One away. And that will bring Gary Sanchez to the plate.
You guys are aware of this, but Tito always talks about the difference in how you use your closer in games like this and how important it is to be home and not away, especially with someone like Clase to get you back to the bottom of the 9th inning, hopefully, with a chance to win the game. And he says it's just you feel when you're on the road, you're kind of constantly debating when do you go to that guy.
Right. Well, that's why you always want to bat last.
Right.
To give you that opportunity. That's what that's why they do it. You're at home, it should be better off for you.
Well, we were kind of speculating too, Dre, with Duran pitching 2 innings last night, with Pagan's struggles here of late. We figured that Rocco Baldelli was holding back Caleb Thielbar maybe to try and close. So we'll see.
I believe that's the same thought process had by Tito and DeMarlo right now. They're thinking the same thing you are.
But we're out of players.
And it looks like Thornburg is coming back out for the bottom of the 9th because I don't see anybody up in Minnesota's bullpen. 2 down.
Well, once this is all done, I think most people that break down this series will look at how the bullpens have been used because almost every game has come down to them.
I don't want to break down this series.
You've had enough, Uncle? Uncle and Twins?
It's just been a strange series.
Yeah.
As I said, 10 games played head-to-head. Cleveland's 5 wins have all been by 1 run. Could be headed that way again today if they can get the victory. Sanchez, or rather Urshela, swings and misses. Strike 1. He's 0 for 3 today.
I think everyone involved in this series will be happy when the game is over. Seriously, just it's been a lot for everybody. Except you, Arch.
Andre, first the 0-1 pitch to Urshela. Soft liner into left field.
He can hit.
Just when you think you've got him corralled, he was 0 for 3. He does that, keeps the inning alive. Dre, it's sort of like, in your days in football in the NFL and training camp, sometimes teams will bring another team in and they'll scrimmage, they'll practice together. Those things always end up in a brawl because they're just not engineered to do that.
Right.
Too
You're
much.
Sick of hitting the same guy over and
Too
over.
much.
Yep.
Alberto Celestino singled his last time up. Urshela not a base stealing threat. Modest lead at first. And fastball strike. Actually a slider in there for the strike from the flame-throwing Emmanuel Clase. Tried to hold up. He went around. It's 0-2. And Celestino complaining to Ted Barrett. That's not a good idea. He wanted him to appeal, and Ted said, I saw you swing. I don't need to appeal.
He must not have read the scouting report.
Here's the 0-2. Got a piece of it. And he may have gotten a piece of Luke Maile.
Yeah, it did. Came back with the slider.
Again, the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We're tied at 3. Jose Ramirez will lead it off, and that man, Josh Naylor, will be due up second. Bottom of the ninth. Will they hoist the victory flag at Progressive Field here today? Jose Ramirez will lead it off. Tyler Thornburg misses up high with a curveball. Ryan Jeffers now into the ball game, catching in for Gary Sanchez. 2-0. He had his problems in the 10th inning last night with a wild pitch and a pass ball. Talking about Jeffers. 3-0. How do you like this?
It is crazy, isn't it?
Nobody up in Minnesota's bullpen. Ball 4 to the backstop, and that's how we start the bottom of the ninth. Winning run aboard. Josh Naylor coming up. Andre talked about it earlier. He said, how many guys do you know that say, yeah, I went up there, I was trying to hit a home run? The only one I can think of is back in the old days when they used to ask Mickey Mantle about his approach. He said, I swung hard just in case I made contact.
Yeah, why not? Last night, that was the key. Right now, you're just trying to get a run across, and they're going to give you one. They've given it many today. And with all the walks, they have 2 hits on the ball game.
Grab your helmets, everybody. Hang on.
Buckle up for safety. Inside, ball 1.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you get a strike.
Well, that's the thing with him, Arch, and we've talked about it all year. When he settled with the easy swing, good things happen. He took two big, huge swings last night in the 10th inning. Slowed it down when he hit the home run.
Go to first, and back with a dive is Jose Ramirez.
And right now, as a base runner, you don't really, unless you know you can steal that base, want to take off. He's having a tough time throwing strikes.
Jose has stolen 12 out of 15.
Again, once again, outfield very deep, as they were last night.
Big slow curveball that he missed inside. It's 2-0.
See, they're looking. He's asking where that pitch was, and it was, by the time it was breaking, it was in off the plate. A lot of question marks today on the strike calls.
2-0. Foul down the right side.
Well, he was waiting for a fastball inside. He got it. Look at this. Out of his 37 pitches, 22 out of the strike zone, 15 have made it in.
Well, he started the inning with 6 straight balls before that pitch was fouled off by Naylor. Low, and it's 3-1.
That pitch is not as bad as it looked like from our vantage point. Check it out. He's sitting up there, and that's Jeffers in there. It looked almost like he was crossed up, or he didn't know which way he was going to catch it. If he turns the glove the other way, it may have been called a strike. That was a better pitch than what it looked like.
Runner goes. 3-1 pitch hit down the right field line, but it is foul. Oh my goodness, look where that ended up. Into the second deck of the corner.
That's just a long strike. He was looking for that same pitch he had on a 2-0 count. He gets it 3-1 there, and he got out just a little too out in front, a little too quickly.
Look at everybody in the front row jumping up thinking he had one. Throw to first, Jose back with a dive. Last night after Naylor hit the walk-off home run, he looked like Animal, the drummer from the Muppets band. He awaits the 3-2 pitch from Thornburg. Ramirez runs, and it's yanked foul again. Almost into the photo pit, but off the facing instead. Minnesota led this game 3-1 until Cleveland pushed 2 across in the 8th inning. Now in the bottom of the 9th, winning run at first. 3-2 pitch, Ramirez running, bouncing ball. Winning run to scoring position, 1 down.
Well, and with him running in that situation, you take a double play out of play. So now you've got the winning run at second base.
And Owen Miller will be the batter, 0 for 3 this afternoon. Josh Naylor almost walked it off for the second game in a row, but he was just a little fouled on the right side. Now a base hit could win it. Right center. 2 down.
Let's see if they walk Jimenez here and go at Reyes.
Andres Jimenez has been the absolute best clutch hitter for Cleveland this year.
Well, if you look at his numbers and you look what he's done late in games after the 8th inning, you would no doubt just say, go ahead and take first base. I'm going to take my chances with Reyes the way he's been swinging it. But we'll see how they approach getting Jimenez out. Started him off with a curveball for a strike. There's the numbers I'm talking about. 8th inning or later, 457 average, 4 homers, 17 ribbies. And there's the winning run sitting out there 180 feet away.
Out of play, it's 0-2. Jimenez has hit an even 400 on the year with runners in scoring position, and even better, 429 when there are 2 outs. He's down 0-2 here. Tyler Thornburg has now made 45 pitches since coming on in the 8th inning. Two and 2. Angel De Los Santos will pitch the 10th if Thornburg gets out of this for Minnesota. Slow curve in dirt from 0-2 to 3-2. And Franmil Reyes would be next. There's an old saying, if you throw a pitch 2-2, you throw it 3-2. It was a curveball that was low. Let's see if he comes back with it. And he's not sure what he wants to throw at.
Just making him wait a little bit, that's all. He was just holding it. Good job of calling timeout.
Now the 3-2. Fastball hit in the air. Right center field. Back is Celestino. He's out of room. We're out of here. There is some bad blood brewing between these two teams. A lot of jawing from the Twins dugout and the Guardians celebrating at home plate. As the song says, wake me up when September comes. That's the next time the Guardians and Twins will meet. Cleveland, with their second consecutive walk-off win, takes the series, winning 3 out of 5 from Minnesota, and they close the gap to 1 game in the standings.
Well, and they had a choice and they made it. They had first base open and chose to pitch to him. He had him down 0-2, get it to 3-2, and they wanted to try and throw a fastball by him, and what happens? Bye-bye, another win, walk-off for the Guardians. Unbelievable. I mean, here you go, fastballed up, and it was right down Broadway. Wasn't out of way enough. And I looked at the right fielder, and he says, come on, I'm going to take it in. Kepler said, it's gone. He knew it. Everybody knew it. And boy, what a way to end these 2 days of a long 5-game series, 4-day series. And look at him, he gives that bat a kiss. I would too.
Party begins at home plate. That's the 6th time this year Minnesota has blown a lead. Or the 5th time, I should say, they've blown a lead and lost a game to Cleveland. And this one's pretty sweet for the Guardians, especially the way this series began and the way this game started to play out. They only had 1 hit until the 8th. That second hit got them back to even, and their 3rd hit of the game wins it.
And the second long ball in the season, in the series, and both of them walk off. So this was the strangest game I've seen in a long time, but they were able to come back and win it. And did it in fine fashion. So now they fall. They're just 1 game behind Minnesota again.
And the New York Yankees are coming to town for a weekend series that will begin tomorrow night. Right now, we go down to Andre Knott with today's hero.
Thank you very much, Matt. Just to go through all of this and how this game played out. After last night, how do you explain what just happened?
¿Cómo puedes explicar todo lo que pasó después del regreso de ayer y regresar en el juego como regresamos hoy?
Yo creo que es increíble, no tenemos palabras para describir lo que está pasando, pero sí, algo sí sabemos, y es que nosotros confiamos el uno al otro y sabemos que cuando llegue la oportunidad cada quien va a hacer su trabajo para ganar.
This is incredible. This is hard to explain. The one thing we know is that we trust each other. We know we're going to give our best, and we want to fight until the end to try to come back.
Once again, last night it came down with 2 strikes on the hitter, 2 strikes on you. After you get those 2 strikes, what's going through your mind, and are you just trying to get the ball in play, or are you trying to end it?
¿Qué pasa por tu mente después de estar en 2 strikes? ¿Piensas ponerla en juego o simplemente acabar el juego?
No, I mean, I was trying to be consistent there, try to get a good pitch to hit and make a good contact. Thanks God the ball went out and we win. But I think it was just, all the whole advice, just stay in the present and get a good pitch to hit.
The consistency you've been able to hit with this year, what do you look at to make it work?
¿Qué es lo que miras para haber logrado la consistencia que tienes este año al batear?
Como lo dije, yo creo que es el trabajo antes del juego. Creo que la rutina que estamos poniendo con los coaches, eso ha sido fundamental y yo creo que eso ha estado pagando y gracias a Dios he podido ayudar al equipo.
I think what fundamentally what I said before is the routines that we put before the game, all the work that I've done with the coaches, and fortunately we're getting the results because of that.
And the one other thing I know that happened, you were able to make that play at second base that you didn't make the other day. How happy were you that you were able to make that play after not making it the other day?
No pudiste hacer esa jugada en segunda base. Qué tan alegre que estás dispuesto a hacer esa jugada en segunda base.
No, very happy for the play. It was a good play. You know, I come here to the ballpark and work every time. I told you it's not going to happen again, and hopefully keep it like that.
He did tell me that. Augie, can you still vote for the All-Star game?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's do this one more time, everybody. This name right here. Go on MLB.com right now. Vote for him. He's an all-star, one of the best second basemen in baseball. Andres, great job. Enjoy the evening because there's more work to do tomorrow. Good job, Augie. Matt, Rick, have a good night. We'll have to be right back at it tomorrow, boys.
Oh, man, that was a lot of fun, Andre. Thank you. And thanks to Andres Gimenez and Augie for stopping by. And he's put himself not only in the conversation, he's put himself in the decision now to be on the All-Star team with the way he's performed this year.
The kid's he's had an amazing year. He's been one of the best clutch hitters in baseball all year long. But they chose to go at him, and I'm still mind-boggled when you had Reyes on deck that they went at him.
So many mind-boggling decisions throughout this entire series. The bullpen usage, I mean, we could go on and on. But you know who's better equipped for that? Guardians Live postgame with Alan Jensen.
Boys, have fun.